9, 2, 9 all round. 8, 8, 8, 8. 3, 11, 6. I'm gonna have to do another run here. Bollocks. Save. Save. Wonder if that's why my fucking tyres were ballooning. Swat.
Dunno.
Trying to get my brakes up to temp.
It's very funny, Beth. Intro that. Properties. That's.
Is there a quick run and then go for a piss? I don't know if I've just fucked my settle.
Yes, Beth. What? Where the fuck have they saved? You got a red Gyarados? Nice one. Caught it with a great ball. It's good then. What?
No, I can't get that gym. I have to go to Lake where Rages. And I know where the lake is.
We'll have to ask Uncle Robert tomorrow, won't you?
Can I borrow my DS?
You can't take your DS because you're not coming back here first. You're going to talk straight to Uncle Robert's.
No. Yeah. What will play on there?
Pro Racing, which is it, Browse. Oh, that's because I'm in fucking Pro, I'm your penis. Pro. No, it's not there. What's up, James? I don't know what you'll be doing at Uncle Robert's, mate. You might not be there that long. I'm at physio and then I come back from physio and then I come and get you. Oh, where have they gone? Oh, no. Oh, I've saved them all at fucking Pro Am 4, you penis.
Didn't want to say.
Yeah, there we go, that's that one. Properties, browse. Freak. Yeah, that's right. That. End screen, bang! Right, now let's get the...
Come on, tyre pressures, heat up. Let's get normal and let's see what you're running now. I might actually have to drop my brake ducts that low. I didn't think they were that low, but they must have been.
I mean, yeah, because I'm doing something in a minute. Say that again, Mike, sorry.
I think my brake ducts might have been that low.
Like you're not getting warm now?
I'm just, I'm on my second, well, I've done my out lap and I'm on the next one. My brakes seem roughly like near temperature. My tyre pressures are in the 170s now.
Yeah.
And we're at a 1.81. But under braking, my brakes aren't overheating under braking, and they're dropping to below 300, so I might have to close them over a bit more.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I might have to drop my tyre pressures slightly.
Interact.
Can't remember if I fucking dropped them now.
That. 35 and 15, I think it was, or 30 and 15.
Yeah, that's what mine was, and I thought it was too low. I see, you know, when you see it and you think, fucking hell.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. Yeah. That's... Floyd, have you done that fight yet?
Yeah, it was last night.
So no, you haven't. What? What is it? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I need to close my rears.
That. Paste. Apply. Okay. Fucking hell. Oh, God, Bennett.
I got major upgrades to my Wi-Fi getting installed soon.
Ah, you were saying Monday. When do they come?
So they're here now, but I didn't want to fuck about with it before tonight.
Yeah.
I can have a go at weekend and replace it all if it don't work quite well. There's a lot of setup to do.
Yeah.
To get it to work, so...
Don't start fucking about now.
Yeah, I've definitely got to close them.
No, save it now.
No, I'm dead.
Oh, a 2022.
Thank you. Don't talk setups or
Happy
anything
with
because
that.
someone's on
I've
my
actually-
stream watching.
Yeah, I've actually just got a 2022.
Yeah, someone's for some reason
Say
turned
that.
my YouTube on and watching my YouTube at the minute.
Here we Gary's trying to get the Merc setups again.
It's one of two people. It's either Gary or it's Dean. And they need to get off of mine and go over to SimPlay Motorsport and get that thumbs
So
up.
yeah, I think
there's now 3 people watching on my account. But when I turn video fucking private, then I have to fuck about on OBS thing and it fucks it up at times.
Yeah.
Time I will. Right.
This is beautiful for your maggots and Beckett's. Amazing what a bit of tuning can do, innit?
Yeah, no.
Oh, he's lost it.
Alright, what time are we on? 1:45. Nearly. Right, so
Alright, tweak this. And then I think I'm good.
yeah,
Send
if
this
I'm
to
not
me.
here when you get back, I will be in with Kelly, but best luck tonight.
Yeah, no worries, pal. 1, 2. 1. Drop
It is
you.
now.
Drop you. Deal with those. That should be good.
King Jesus. Shits me up every time that. When bottle bin gets emptied, and then they go out and they chuck it bottles in bin, and it makes that fucking much noise. Right, I'm going to jump in a party with Kelly and then pop to the toilet. Best of luck tonight, buddy. You on after for a little bit on Sugo? Yes, sweet. I shall catch you then, bud. Sorry. Fair enough. Take care, bud. Here he is. Ah, bit miffed off at me. A bit pissed off at my dad at the minute. Yeah. Well, Silverstone have announced that it's going to be full capacity, haven't they? Today. Literally just text me saying, oh, I've got my email through for the tickets. I'm going to print them off Saturday. Do you still want yours? Or would you rather have money? Basically, knowing my dad going, I'll lay your ticket and go with our David, because I'll speak to David more than I speak to you and stuff. So if you want your money, I'll give you money. I know exactly where my dad was going with that. I've said to him I'll talk to you tomorrow because I'm just about to start streaming. It was literally 2 seconds ago, just before your joint party, that he messaged me. So I said I'll have to sort it tomorrow. I mean, I'm the money coming handy to sort PC out, but at the same time I want to go and meet Kelly and shit. Nah. What's that? Oh, what's he done now? Which bit? Oh yeah. And if you and like we said on the admin chat, if you actually watch the video, Daniel actually makes time on you by gaining on you that little bit. It's not like you've gone away from him. Daniel actually gains the time on you. Yeah. Yeah. That's how it looked on the stream, by the way. That he sort of dive bombed up you and caught Daniel. Yeah. 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 We're waiting to see his footage. Now, we've sort of said a similar thing. We're waiting to see his footage before we penalise him or anything. But yeah, it's... I don't know what... I mean, Eric Porter was... I don't know. Yeah. He talks the talk, doesn't he? Yeah. It's just he's been banned from another league, Daniel has. So he was telling to me that he did a bit of a sooty send it manoeuvre and it got him banned.
Yeah.
And that seemed, you know, and initial thought, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
He's actually just posted the video here on his Facebook. It says here, so this on Monday got me banned from the Touring Car League. Initially forever, as they said, I didn't try to break. Though I argued that, you know, because it's Daniel Francis, using this video, so it's because I said, here's payback, as I made the lunge back. Justified or overlay, whatever the fuck that says, complaining or being aggressive on the mic is in the rules, so I'm not arguing that. Not sure if he's intimidated, not sure if his immediate relation taking me off is being punished or not. I'm absolutely gutted, but another iron in the fire. So I live, learn and move on. Let's now watch the incident. So he's coming out of Clearways at Brands Indy.
Yeah.
Car's just overtaken him. He's in the Merc. They're all in the Mercs and Astras with looks of it.
Right.
Gets a good... Oh, right, okay. Gets a good run out to Paddock Hill, coming up towards Druids, yeah?
Yeah.
He is close enough to make the move. Does hit the brakes where you would hit the brakes. Nah, I think the car's turned in on him.
Right.
Maybe
and that got him banned.
Yeah. Oh, and then the car's and then the car's definitely come back across, Daniel, in a retaliation. So Daniel pushes him wide out the exit of Druids, coming down towards Graham Hill. You know, as it goes back downhill. That same Mert then comes straight across the front of Daniel, and they both go off. Yeah, that was definitely in a retaliation shunt off. And Daniel's been banned for that. Well, I'm sorry. I actually find that one harsh.
Well, maybe it was probably more like... I
wouldn't have penalised Daniel for making that move.
Right. Well, maybe there's a little bit more to it than that. Maybe they just got fed up with him complaining every fucking week and putting his 2 penneth worth in every fucking week.
So, Daniel like this, he's racing on a Monday night now because there's a free spot.
Well, yeah. You guys won't see much. Well, you will. You'll just see him spinning round and round and round.
What, him and Dean?
Yeah, him and Dean.
Oh, no, sorry. Dean was consistent on Monday, wasn't he?
Was he? On Monday. He certainly wasn't consistent. Yeah, he was consistent last night. Consistently crap.
He sat there, he come on after you went, and he sat there going, right, time to test cars for next season. I went, Dean, you have dropped to 3rd from bottom. You're losing to guys. You're losing to guys like Smithy and Stealth Sloth, who are shit. And I said, no disrespect to them drivers, but they are nowhere near as quick as you, Dean. You've got the pace. Learn to put it together.
He just doesn't learn, though, does he?
No. And then he started testing other cars, and I was like, oh, you don't want the help, so go fuck yourself. Yeah. I'm fed up of trying to help him, and then he comes and moans at me because, you know, someone did this or someone did that, and now it's like, well, Dean, do it yourself.
Yeah. He's he's a funny one, isn't he? He's as I say, he had pace. He was leading the race. Do you know what I mean? We know he's got pace. He was like, his quickest lap was like 3 seconds quicker than mine. Do you know what I mean? But he can't string it together, you know. And
this was the thing: is if he'd have strung laps together like you did last night,
he would have won that.
No, he'd have got 3rd in that first race. Fury and X-Mart would have had him, but Dean would have got 3rd place.
Yeah. So many of them are struggling with the word consistent, you know.
Yeah.
And I said it last night, and I thoroughly believe it. There's turning into 2 tiers in Pro-Am.
Yeah.
There's the upper tier, which is BT, X-Mart, Fury, me, Nicky, Argent, Don Productions, you know, a couple others, but like bouncing between the two. And then you've got the bottom group: Daniel Francis, Dean, Stealth Sloth,
DJ Phil, Smithy,
Alfie,
yeah.
all these haven't learned a fucking thing, man.
No,
you know.
Yeah, and as much as Alfie led that second race outright for the first couple of laps, he then made a mistake and it started to show. He then got disqualified. You know, as much as Dean got in front, made the mistakes, it starts to show.
Yeah, and this is, you know, I mean, me and Nicky, to the best of our abilities, kept the quick mercs honest last night. You know, as honest as we could. Do you know what I mean? You know, they were. Fury went down. Fury could coming out of club on the old pit straight.
Yeah.
Right, he could get to the inside so much quicker than I could, and then just accelerate past me. You know, he had so much straight line speed and so much better front end than the Porsches. And BT did the same to me. He came out of club and he just moved to the inside and strolled right past me. You know?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And we were, you know, we were outgunned completely. But I think me and Nicky did a fair job.
Yeah, but I think it was Daniel Daniel himself that said in the party last night, Kelly really doesn't have pace, does he? And it's like, no, he really doesn't. He really doesn't.
No, I don't.
But what he has is he can string the laps together. I said, and that's his main thing, is you can out-qualify, and it reflects in your qualifying. Your qualifying's not great on your average qualifying. But you sat second in the championship for the reason of you can keep it on track.
Well, I mean, I've got good starts. I've got consistent laps. And contrary to what Liam said on the stream, I'm quite good in the wet as well. You know? Because he was completely off the mark on the wet. One of my race wins and 2 second places have been in the wet.
You
know? So I can't drive in the wet, Liam, you know? But I haven't got outright pace. I'm, you know, fucking blind luck that I put it on pole at fucking Daytona. And it was a second qualifying. It was just fucking, you know, blind luck, to be honest. And I've never got pace. But consistency is what gets me through.
And this is something that I've said to Dean 5 times. In fact, probably more than 5 times. What you lose 20, 30 seconds worth of pace spinning every time, you're better off being 3 or 4 seconds a lap slower. All right, maybe not 3 or 4, but a couple of seconds a lap slower. You're going to gain more time being slower overall than spinning however many times you do in a race. And then having to pit for damage and being even slower for damage. You're better off being that initial slow. Fuck your qualify. And again, this is another one. The amount of times I've said to him, fuck qualifying in terms of practicing. Just practice your races. And like I say, last night he tested Porsche, he tested BMW, he tested Audi, and I'm sat there going, Dean, you're third from bottom. This just over half the season left. You surely have to be looking at top 10. And he went, well, if there's an AM class next year, I'll be an AM, won't I? And I went, whatever, Dean. I says, fuck you, whatever.
I mean, I went last night, and my fastest lap over the whole week was like a 2:04 something, right? I didn't get into the 2:04s last night. I was in the 2:05s. You know, when pole was 2:02, was it? You know,
something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, you know, so I definitely didn't have pace.
I mean, and let's be honest, if Kieran had hit his time, he'd have been in 2:01s.
Yeah, and I mean, if I had Fury gave me a little bit of a tap in Maggots and Beckett's on the last lap. Did a bit of a Matt Neal and gave me a push on. You know,
hey, watch what you say.
I know what you're going to say.
I've got something for tonight.
I'm surprised you didn't pick it up last week, because I hit Nicky last week and he hit me this week.
I don't think we saw that one last week, whereas we caught this one.
Yeah, I mean, I hit Nicky rather hard last night, and he hit me last night, and he had damage, not me. I had no damage from that whatsoever. You know?
Kelly!
I don't even know how it happened.
I think I even said on commentary, you know, like the greats of Matt Neal and Shedden and and Hamilton and Rosberg. You know, teammates do take each other. I think I said something like that last night, but
it's something along those lines. And I kind of heard you say it on the stream as I was driving, right? And I'm like, oh great, here we go, right? But then wasn't it Matt Neal that hit Shedden?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, Nicky hit me. I'll be Gordon Shedden, no problem.
Well, this week you was. Last week apparently you was the Matt Neal.
Yeah, I was last week. Well, cars moved out the way and he was there stopped and I hit him, so yeah, it was kind of that. But I mean, Fury gave me a little nudge on through Maggots and Beckett's, but I reckon if he hadn't done that, I maybe could have held him off to the end. That would have put me on a podium, so 205s all the way through the race. And I don't think Nicky was much faster, and he put it on the podium. So
I think Nicky needs to really take his double points soon.
Next week.
I tell you why. He's had 2 weeks now where he's had good results, and he does. I don't want it for him to be one of them where when he does take it, it'll be terrible.
He always said that Sugo was his Sugo was his where he was going to take double. He's been saying it all season, and I think he's going to message you like kind of imminently that's where he's going to take his double points.
Yeah,
so yeah, that'll be interesting. So I see I see my second place in the championship slipping away. BT and Xmart are going to start really start coming alive.
Well, BT's got with my PC fucking up yesterday, it messed up a bit of the stuff.
Yeah.
So I can actually confirm. What the fuck is that? Hang on. Let me delete that. Sooty is here. First time we get Sooty and Phil on the grid.
That'll be something to watch at the back.
So we are getting Xmart has gone up to 3rd and BT's like 7th.
Yeah.
But because my PC up last night, it was telling me different. Kieran sat there going, why are my points this and your points that? And I'm like, I couldn't tell you, mate. And then it turns out it was just my PC being a twat.
Right.
So yes, Xmark's up to 3rd and BT is
he's going to catch their pro level, both of them. You know?
And I'm kind of glad that if they go up, and I know you don't really want to go up, you kind of want another year in Pro-Am. But
I do, but on the other hand,
oh, you wouldn't. No one turns down. No one turns down a promotion, did it? But
I couldn't say I had one hand on the trophy, but I certainly got a look at it. Do you know what I mean?
And I think if Xmart and BT and Fury went up, I mean Fury's pretty much going up now, 70 points clear of yourself, know, and that's BT still got his double to take. Xmart's 50 odd points behind you, but if them three go up. And you look at that championship, then we'll say Welsh comes down and Keegs is dropping down if he doesn't come back, and Joe does come down. You can then sort of sit there and be like, do you know what? That championship next year I could have a real good crack at.
Yeah, well, you don't know who else is going to come in though, do you? Do you know what I mean? And who's going to join. So we'll see. As long as I'm enjoying the racing, so that's all that matters really at the moment.
Right, I'm going to go live.
Yep.
Pressed it a little too early, but good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SimPlay Motorsport. Then here for the Pro-Am Pro Series tonight. Sorry, not the Pro-Am. Pro-Am was last night. If you missed that, I must have missed it. Where have you been? But we are here. We are live at Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, which will be in a few weeks for the British Grand Prix. Not long to go now, and we have got a heck of a lineup tonight. Somebody has just left the session. Hopefully they can get back in. We are missing a couple of drivers tonight. Emo Guy not with us. No Jamie Brazier as he's on holiday, and obviously Keegs dropped out earlier in the season. I'm Matthew Duffin, joined in the commentary box tonight by my partner in crime, Kelly Davis. Kelly, how are you?
Oh, sweet and sticky in your box. Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, looking forward to another good night's racing.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one tonight. What are we hoping to get from everybody tonight, Kelly? It's you obviously tested. You drove around here last night. What are we expecting from these guys tonight? No rain forecast, very cloudy conditions though tonight, so a bit cooler than your guys last night. What are we expecting here today?
I'm expecting is a Porsche scrap at the front. Now, last night if you tuned in and watched last night, if you missed it, then you missed out on another cracking good Pro-Am showing. So when you get time, after you've watched this one this evening, go back and watch the stream for Pro-Am last night. It was a Merc night last night. The guys who had the Mercs set up properly, we'll say the quick Mercs, they had the absolute pace over the Porsches, again, the quick Porsches. So the Porsches were outclassed by the Mercs last night. But this Pro-Am is one thing. Pro is very different. We haven't got quite as many Mercs in the Pro-Am, and a lot of the quick boys are in the Porsches. So I think it's going to be a Porsche scrap tonight. Although, saying that, don't count out this guy, Disco Face, in the sole BMW.
Yes, will be an interesting evening to see what Disco can do in the BMW tonight. Can it not be a Porsche scrap at the back, please, says Jamie in the chat. 20 people watching, 9 likes. Get them thumbs up and subscriptions in early doors. Hopefully whoever it was that disconnected comes back in. It may just be a case if they've not loaded the wheel up. For the first time tonight, Kelly, we're excited to say that there is 2 Akoras on the grid. Sooty and Phil get to race with each other tonight as the 30th driver is, and it was Little Each who probably did have the wheel set up. Hopefully Emo Guy gets in as well. There's plenty of time, 20-minute prep session. Then
who am I looking for?
Into a 10
Philip, there he is.
Qualifying.
I couldn't find Phil because he was so high up the list, but of course that's a default setting. That's not where the Akora lives. There we go. Yes, as you say, we've got the legend that is Sooty Apex, who's just coming out of the pits. It looks like he's underground, but the level of the pit lane is lower than the track level, and there you go, there he is. Sooty Apex and Phil both out in the Akoras this evening. At least they'll be have good company at the back, won't they?
As we move on from that comment, and talking of Akoras and Hondas and teammates taking each other out, what happened last night, Kelly? Hey?
What happened last night? My teammate crashed into me.
Yeah, a proper... But, I mean, hey, the best do it, don't they? Gordon Shedden and Matt Neal.
Yeah.
And that's the end
Rosberg
of that list.
And Hamilton.
Nah, I said the greats do it.
All right, sorry.
Yeah.
Rosberg. Gordon Shedden and Matt Neal are well known for doing it, and we know how we like our touring car references. Touring
cars this weekend as well, Kelly. Brands Hatching.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
It's a big weekend for motorsport, isn't it? Big weekend.
Styrian Grand Prix, not the Austrian, the Styrian Grand Prix, and Brands Hatch GP, and I'm not sure on anything else.
Have I got a feeling W Series is running?
Might
be highlights. Yeah, it might be highlights. Don't quote me on that one. I'm sure someone will put me right if I'm wrong. Big weekend for motorsport. Of course, the big announcement today is that the British Grand Prix will go ahead as planned with 140 capacity, and in that 140 will be you and me, Matt.
Will be you and me, and that Bozzy boy, Liam in there as well. And not just 140, 140,000 in its full attendance. And we are going to be 3 of the madmen stood there, unless my dad wants to take my ticket off me and give me money for it. He's probably not watching, so he's not even going to hear that. Just as we get on about teammates crashing, Team Prolapse, which will be Nikki in the chat. Pro doesn't have a Team Prolapse and no rainbows. I'm so sorry, love heart, rainbow.
Well, just to pick up on that story, we talked about it a little bit off air. Yes, Nicky did crash into the back of me in Magnus and Beckett's last night, but the week before I crashed into him in the first corner at... where was Zhuhai, weren't we, last week?
Zhuhai.
I did crash into the back of him that night. So it's when you're at the front and you're evenly matched, these things happen. Do you know what I mean?
When it's this close between teammates and you're on the same headset party and you go, give me a bit more space, and you can tell each other to move. These things.
There was lots of apologies. Lots of.
I bet there's a lot of apologies and a lot of laughs. Jamie Brazier just confirming that the W Series is supporting the F1 this weekend, and it's also the British GT at Silverstone. So the GT3s and GT4s will be around this very circuit at Silverstone this weekend. So what a weekend of racing to be had. Would you like the current standings, Kelly Davis?
Oh, well, yes. I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for those.
I can only imagine. Gary131, who is back tonight after his holiday. Now, let me tell you this. Little Leach has had to fix Gary's PS4 this week. It nearly didn't make it with a problem with the PlayStation, as Andy warming his tyres up there. Gary then leads the title 6 points ahead of this man, Unorthodox. Hot on his heels now. Can he make it count tonight? He's looking quick so far. Both of these... Dan's not a lover of Silverstone, but he's quick round here. Gary doesn't mind Silverstone, absolutely finds it. He says, as much as he'll tell me different, Gary goes well around here. I've not seen Dan as much around here. We'll have to see what Dan does. D Biggs sits P3, tied with Jamie Brazier, but no Jamie Brazier tonight. Little Leach is then in P5, only 4 points behind them two. Emo Guy comes in 6th place, but no Emo Guy yet out there on the track. 7th place is Peaceful Explosion, who will surely hit the 100-point mark tonight. He's only two points away from that. Monkey Boy, his teammate, is just behind him, 1 point ahead of that Bozzy Boy, who had a stellar week at Zoo High last week. That Bozzy Boy, the solo Audi out there tonight, what a job he did last week. Can he replicate that performance and do well tonight? Andy then rounding off the top 10 with Disco McDisco face P11, with Rabbit Joe in 12th, Phil in 13th, Welshie 14th, Sutty 15th, and Keegs down in 16th place after dropping out due to so many problems this year for Keegs in terms of cars and other things. Constructors title looks like this. Leachy Legends lead the way, 2 points ahead of Shake and Bake, with excuse me, Iron Brew Racing P3, quite comfortably P3 as well now after the Class of 97 struggled last week. Track limits there, Dan, watch yourself. GQ Motorsport are hot on the heels of Class of 97. Straight Line Racing just lead Run Flat Racing by 3 points, and SimPlay Racing down at the bottom with Disco all on his own. Dan, heck of a wiggle there. Yeah. And
3 Maggots and Beckett's.
With the 2 Team Prolapse cars here, Dan, did you get a bit of a shunt from them too? Then?
Oh, boom, there she is.
I'm here all evening, Kelly.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that.
20 people watching, 12 likes, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. This is just the practice session. We'll get into the racing just a little bit later. Who have we in the chat? Disco, Joe, Bethany Ann, she's here because Gary's back. DJ Phil's in there, Smithy, Jamie Brazier, Team Prolapse, and Daniel Francis. Evening to all of you guys.
Yeah, evening. Keep the comments coming in. Ask us anything between me, Matt, and Google. We know it, and if I don't read it all, Daniel Francis will, and he'll tell us.
As he did last week.
Yeah, as he did last week, quite thoroughly. So if you want to ask us anything, I've got a question for the whole world a bit later on, and we'll take a bit of a poll on it, completely unrelated to motorsport. But just what I wanted to pick up on is that Dan is the first man into the 2 minutes. And just in case anybody isn't aware that Dan is my son, he came round last Sunday. He was here for the Grand Prix. And we downloaded setup, worked on a bit of setup time on my rig in my Porsche. And this is, I think you'll find, he does it again, look, uses a back end. I think you'll find that we were running the same setup. Now, we put the setup in, Dan jumped straight in the car, second lap pulled a 2 minute straight away. So he did 2 laps and pulled a 2 minute. First time round on my rig. So as you can imagine, I was disappointed ever since because I never got any sniff anywhere near that. He goes, there you go, there's your setup, you know it's capable of a 2 minute, crack on.
We've just lost a driver there. Phil Sutty, Little Leach, Rabbit Joe, Monkey Boy. I cannot see who it is.
Sutty, Phil, Peaceful, Liam,
Welshie. We've just lost Welshie, I do believe. So hopefully we can get Welshie back. He's plenty of time to go. How was last Sunday anyway? Father's Day, me and you being fathers. Did you get anything nice?
Well, Daniel just showed me the way on this game. And that and a bottle of gin and some and I did get a small model car. Yes, as you know, Matthew.
Yes, as I do know.
It was the I can't remember what year it is now.
2006.
Thank you. 2006 Honda Integra of Matt Neal's championship winning car of that year.
I've got the same one.
Which has got
on my shelf.
Now got pride of place in my motorsport cabinet, and it is bumper to bumper with Jason Plato's Chevrolet.
Had to be bumper to bumper. Although Jason Plato's Chevrolet could have been upside down like it was at Donington Park.
Yes, yeah. And didn't he have a tantrum about that as well?
Yeah, it probably did. Boost or something, probably, knowing them guys. And I've seen your motorsport cabinet, by the way. It is impressive, I will admit. It's very,
not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
That Bozzy boy, Fury's granddad, evening sweet and sticky. Good luck, go Dan. Thank you, Tony. That Bozzy boy, hi Matt. Are you getting quicker? And Kelly, your teammate is doing a dean on you last night. Whatever,
doing a dean on me.
Yeah.
What? Falling off the track at every single corner. sorry, Dean, if you're watching. Dean had a good run to start with last night. If you go back, he had a couple of laps of brilliance. Unfortunately, Dean's still struggling with a bit of consistency. Something he needs to work on, but he's certainly got pace. But couldn't keep it all together last night. But,
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on as we go through this evening. Keep our eyes on that 2-minute mark. Will the barrier be beaten by a few more drivers? If so, who will beat that barrier? And how many of them will get into it? It's going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on as well. What the gaps are between the drivers. Because I don't think there's going to be too much difference between these guys tonight as we get Welshie back in.
Good news. Welshie back in, and certainly not put a time in yet. He's going round. There he is. Sooty send it. We haven't seen our good friend Sooty for a little while.
When was the last time Sooty raced with us? Obviously, work commitments.
Grass cut there, lovely.
Catalonia, the last time we saw Sooty out on track. And I know Sooty does like Silverstone. Sooty is a... hi, Matt. I did send a message to you on Discord, private message that would explain why I'm not on track. There we go. I haven't received that. I haven't checked my Discord. That is why. No problem, though, Ian. No problem. We'll hope to see you back out there next week as Sooty just warming his tyres up there by drifting it around the corner. How's you, Kelly, says Beth. And why is Disco so off the pace? Shocking for him.
I'm very well, Beth. Thank you very much. Disco off the pace. Well, it's only practice, isn't it? So maybe sandbagging. The
last time we said about somebody in the pro group sandbagging in practice was Gary at Catalonia. We accused him. We've lost Welshie again. Oh no. Hopefully, hopefully we can get Welshie in, and this isn't a continuous problem here. But the last time we said about somebody sandbagging, it was Gary at Catalonia, and it turns out he wasn't sandbagging. He just had no pace. 23 people watching the stream, 14 likes, guys. Let's smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new to the channel for more content like this. We'll be live tomorrow night at 8 PM with the GTEs around the Bruno circuit, in which can Valeside keep his momentum going and keep that fantastic form that he had last week. Sooty still not done a lap. Gary was purple sector 1 and D Biggs was purple sector 2. Do you want to know how many drivers? I'm not going to name the drivers yet. Do you want to know how many are taking double points tonight? We had a huge amount last night. 4.
4? Yeah. That's what we had last night, wasn't it?
5 last night we had.
5 last night.
5 last night, 4 tonight. I said to, I think it was Liam in the week, and it might have been Dan as well, I said, I'm expecting a lot of guys to take this as the double points because it's a track that a lot of guys have probably done a lot of.
Yeah.
So I expected a lot this week. We've had a few late calls today for double points. We only had the 1, and then today we got 3 extras. Last night we had 5 people take theirs all at the last minute. And really, really interesting to see tonight. We'll obviously tell you who those guys are at the halfway stage of the race. Yeah.
So there's a couple of things for tonight. Firstly, as I say, I was going to put a poll out there, and completely random this is, all right? Completely random. With the Euro, the football thing going on that I don't follow and don't watch, all the TV schedules have been all over the place, and I normally come home from work and I sit and I watch The Chase, because I like The Chase, but this week I've had to watch Pointless, and I quite enjoyed it, to be fair, right? So my question is to everyone out there, Pointless or The Chase? What's best?
I'm a bit of both, but I do enjoy both, but I have to go Pointless.
Yeah, Pointless is I think is a bit more of a thinking man's quiz, where The Chase is a bit more light-hearted, and Bradley Walsh is brilliant. Absolutely.
I love Bradley Walsh, he's brilliant. But as Welsh, that bit of lag there would indicate that Welsh is coming in. And Emo Guy says it's not personal, you can read out what has happened. his chips have flown off his PlayStation when he opened it up. He said he's been having problems with the PlayStation last week.
His what? Sorry.
He opened his PlayStation up and some chips was flying out. I presume like chips off the PlayStation or something. His motherboard is knackered, basically. To cut a long story short. So he will be out for the foreseeable future then. So that is a shame for Ian.
Yeah, absolutely.
In that sense, obviously, he'll be.
What did he take it apart for in the first place?
He was saying he was saying he was having problems with it last week, and that it wasn't turning on or wasn't updating properly or anything. So that may have been. It may have finally sort of had its time. Do you know what I mean? And decided to just not turn on at all.
Yeah.
Game Crash says Welshie. That's why he went off. So that's why Welshie left. Sorry, say that again. Disco found some pace.
Disco's up to third, so he's found some pace.
Daniel Francis says he enjoys both. ITV +1 for the win, so he can watch the chase an hour later. Good answer. Good answer. Yeah, good answer. I've got time to do both. You know, busy life and all that. But yeah, that's an answer. Liam, pay attention. Liam says both, but I mean, it seems too smart a game show for Liam. Whichever one, do you know what I mean? Team Prolapse, I prefer Pointless, but Chase is more funny when they lose. Bethany's just said she's good.
Good. I'm glad you're good, Beth. Yeah. Will she be joining us? She's not joining us at the Grand Prix, is she?
No.
No, but at Donington later in the year.
Donington later in the year. Beth will be there. You get the pleasure of, provided he stayed with me, my brother. Woo.
Right.
As you can tell, I'm thrilled to bits to be going with him. But yeah,
absolutely.
I'll get to see you and Liam. So I'll get to see you and Liam, so it should still be absolutely a brilliant laugh. But no, Beth will be at Donington, as will this man and a few others. Jamie Brazy, I think Liam will be there as well. And
Dan will be there.
Dan will be there, yeah. We get to meet Dan and give him a good earful, bringing me a rat ribbon, apparently.
Yeah, and pasties. Bring pasties as
well. And a Ginsters,
Yeah, no, a pasty.
Yeah,
I'm going to bring a pasty.
Yeah,
not an imitation pastry, a pasty. Let's not get started.
Let's not get started. We've only got 1 minute 13 left of this session. There's 25 people watching, 15 likes, guys. Let's smash the thumbs up button. Former BTCC grid girl Sophie Halson was on the chase 18 months ago. Didn't do well and forced the stereotype of pretty girls. Well.
I have the same problem.
Brilliant.
So listen, I've got another one for you. Another one for you this evening, Matt. There's a statistic that I would like to know, and as your stats page is really becoming quite the impressive database that it is. Right, I want to know who's scored the most points in one round. So. Of course, that would be a double points. There's a few people who've had,
this season.
For my own, no, ever.
Well, the double points only came in last year, so it didn't run season 1. So let me load up. You talk us through the end of practice. I'm going to load up season 2 table, and I'm going to get back to an answer with you.
Okay, so as Gary gets it very wrong coming out of the last chicane and takes it back to the pit. So nobody else has got into the 2 minutes except Dan. So he's looking very, very strong. Andy's behind him, half a second behind him. Of course, this is practice, and surely the guys are going to ramp up the levels for qualifying and give it a very good go. So where are we? Who's left on track? Andy's still on track as we're watching. Disco is on track. D-Biggs still on track. It looks like Andy's still going for it in that Ginetta. Hasn't had all the luck in that car, but he's going to come across the line now. Oh no, he's at the other end. He's at the other end.
That's
he's
the old start line.
Beckett's end.
Yeah. That's where they are for the touring cars, not for the F1. I have your answer.
And
Halty last season took 50 points and doubled that to make it 100. The next best is then NJ last season with 46. You then are 45, Fury 42, and a few guys on 40 X-Mark this season. So yes, Halty from last season, season 2, took 50 points, double that 100 in his McLaren.
So 104 is the maximum that's going to be available, isn't it?
Yes.
So 2 wins at 25 apiece makes 50. 50 times 2 is 100. And then 2 fastest laps would make 104 at the absolute maximum.
Yeah, because you double the fastest lap of 1 point as well. So 2 fastest laps. We've never had somebody take their double points and make it a double day, if you will.
Right, well, there's something to shoot for, isn't it?
Hey, reach for the stars. Why not? For those who are taking their double points tonight. If you want to be the first guy to get a 52 to double that, well, imagine getting an extra 52 points. What that will do for your title, Sooty Apex. If you're he's not taking his double points tonight, I can say about that. What about for Pro, says Iron Brew Racing? That's all together, Jamie. You want to know just for Pro? I will get you just for Pro, as they are starting the 10-minute qualifying session now. We are about to get underway with qualifying, and it's going to be an absolute crackerjack. Dan! Oh, no, Dan!
What?
Speeding in the pit lane.
in the pit lane.
Oh, Daniel. Now then,
Come on, Dan.
Do you want to flick the timings up? Because depending on how bad that is, if he's been speeding quite a bit, it could be more than a 1 place. No, it is just the 1 place.
1 grid place. So that's... Oh, no, I've got to get off that. So that's unfortunate, but not the end of the world.
No. Right, okay, so for the Pro, I've just figured this one out. Gary has the top one of 36 as a double point for the Pro group, closely followed by Unorthodox and Sooty last season of 35 for their double point scored round. So Gary, the best Pro driver on his double points. Evil Scotsman had the thing for over 8 years. It's never been open beforehand. Was full of dust, brown dust, may I add. There I was trying to put it back together. I saw the motherboard chip sitting there. Oh, what a shame. I think that includes...
So it must have spat his chip out then, yeah? Is that what it's done?
I assume something then.
If the chip's just sat there, how did it get out? How did it unsolder itself from the motherboard? Just go, pop! Was it that aggressive a drive?
Hang it. No. Well avoided from the shake and bake Porsche there. Well avoided. Oh, yeah, that's it. Best thing to do there, Chris.
Get out of the way.
Just to add, while we're on board Welshie, I know he's going to hate me for this. I was going to leave it to the start of the race. In fact, no, do you know what? I am going to leave it to the start of the race. I am.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it there. Ariel Pulowski, Don Productions, I hope none of you have had the luck I had yesterday and at Team Pro Laps. Dan can still win it from second on the grid. He can still win it from second on the grid. Yeah, he's got to qualify first to get second.
He has. You're right.
Nicky, I love your optimism, mate, but he's got to get the job done himself first. You never know. The Akoras could be on pole. Wouldn't that be a thing of beauty?
Yeah, absolutely. And little piggies could sprout wings and fly.
I was going to say stranger things have happened. Kelly's won a race. So, you know.
2 of them, actually.
Oh, brilliant. I love you, Kelly.
Lightning struck twice, actually.
Yeah, it has. London buses come to mind.
Yeah,
hey, Kieran, if you're watching.
About the same sort of pace.
Yeah.
Slow and steady, baby.
Yeah,
slow and steady.
Wins the race.
Yeah.
Or in Smithy's case, gets second place, and he was absolutely loving that last week. What a shame his form wasn't the same last night. Here are the Leachy Legends then. Are they still going to be the Leachy Legends and make it a 3-time Constructors' Championship going into next season?
On their hands.
I think this is their biggest fight. Their biggest fight.
Definitely.
I don't think they've had a Constructors' title quite as close as this one. And you know what? I think they're going to thrive on this fight, you know? I think that's team orders here. Craig out the way, and I'll then just spin in front here and ruin both our laps.
Carry.
Yep. Craig, move over, I'm quicker, and then I'll spin and ruin both. Cheers, bud.
Yeah, watch, little brother. Watch me do a donut.
Craig, next time, don't let him bother. But no, back to seriousness. I think Shake and Bake this year are really taking that fight to the Leachy Legends and are really making them have to work for this Constructors' title this year. Not be able to wrap it up early, not be able to get it, you know, have that gap and have that cushion in the championship. They're really pushing them hard.
And what's neat and tidy is that it's both Porsches as well. You know, they're fighting in equal equipment. So, that's nice to see.
It's arguably down to the setup of the car and the driver that's driving it that are that's making the difference, isn't it, this year?
I was going to try and see if I can find someone
Yeah, Phil's coming to them. Let's do the Acura. We don't do the Acura.
Okay, yeah, let's do the Acura. So, excuse me if I don't remember all the names. I probably can, but I can't.
I'm on it.
New pit lane, new complex a couple of years ago. I don't know what this first corner is called, but it's a right-hander and it's fast. Touch the brakes, go down a gear if you want to. Hit it. It goes out... takes you out wide, hug the inside of the apex, don't get up on that curve. I made that mistake. That'll spin you round into this slower section that the Formula One drivers call a little bit Mickey Mouse, but I quite like it. Left-hander onto the Wellington straight?
Yeah.
Is coming up down? Yeah, that one bad, was it? So flat through this one, you're down the Wellington straight, just offset from or picks up the original track, comes into Club Corner at just before the old complex, as it were. So through Club, another bit of a classic hurry up and wait kind of corner, this one. Trying to keep it to the inside, let it run wide, nail the power, past the old pit straight, and down to Cops, is it?
Yep.
Yep, and again... touch the brake, maybe go down a gear, try and hug that apex. Okay, don't worry about it, Phil. Try not to run wide. I did every now and then. The classic Maggots and Beckett's through here, flat through the first one, come off the gas, ride the curb on the second, pull it in for the third, down a couple of gears, drop it down, so hold in the back end so it doesn't come out on you. Hold it to the left-hand side and nail it all the way down the
Hanger straight.
Back straight. Hanger straight, that was the one. Coming down the hill here, or down the straight. Tricky braking, this one. Can all go wrong real quickly, can't it, Daniel? Francis, that is. And tug it into the inside, past the Vale, down the Vale straight. If you look on the left-hand side, that's where I'm going to have a grandstand seat in a couple of weeks' time. Into the last chicane. Overtaking opportunity here, if you do it right. Right-hander, just as you come back towards the pit straight, and this is a little almost nothing corner as you go across the line. If you're quick, you'll do it in 2 minutes, but the only man doing it in 2 minutes right at the moment is Andy on a 2 minute. Yeah,
Phil there.
So there you go.
Fourth.
That's a flip round.
Good lap from Phil, fourth place at the moment. Not a bad lap from Phil there, and you pretty much got every name right there, so well done, Kelly.
Yeah, ish. Yeah.
Well,
could have been a bit more fluid, but
well
there you
done.
go.
Well done. Yeah. Proud of you, buddy.
You would think I should know my home track, shouldn't you?
I've commented with you on touring car leagues and things before where I've had the track names up and you're thereabouts, let's say that.
Yeah, there's to be fair, there's a lot of tracks in the world and a lot of corners.
Yes.
You know?
So remembering them all is a very difficult job that us commentators have to do.
It is when you're my age, you know, adventure before dementia and all that, you know, so...
Dan Kelly, sorry to interrupt, Dan's got into the 2 minutes as well at the minute, but there's a 10th off. Liam Gamer! That buzzy boy! The form is rolling over here. It's flying at the minute. Dean Wasaki, evening to you. Love the old pit lane, only on F1. For those who don't know what I'm on about... Just mucking about on the PlayStation, had an F1 race one night. I think Argent was there, Daniel France was there, I was there, a couple of others was there. Dean lost his front wing, had to pit for a front wing. Pitted in the old pit lane. Now the old pit lane had them concrete blocks to barricade it off and a fire truck sat behind it. Dean didn't see the fire truck or the concrete blocks and continued to plough into them and retired from the race. And we all had a really good giggle about it. So Dean loves the old pit lane. Brilliant. If you can name the back straight at Donington the SimPlay straight, you can call the old pits here the Wackasakid pits, surely. We will now because of that. We will give it that. Liam, though, let's talk about Liam a second. Looks like he's backed out of this lap a little bit. Heck of a lap. Really good, solid lap that from Liam.
Absolutely. And Daniel, again, well, Kelly, if you do that, do you think you can stay on track at Cops when a battle or give the position up? I didn't quite follow that, but I kind of guessed what you were saying. Staying on track, well, we could both talk about that last night, Daniel. So moving swiftly along from track limits and Pro-Am driving standards. And look, Gary's into third place as well, so that's giving Dan some pressure. Those guys
D-Biggs just moved into fifth.
Yep. D-Big's in 5th. Where's Little Leach?
Down in 8th.
He's down in 8th at the moment.
Yeah, he's really struggling here. Looking at guys, he's actually on a better lap at the moment. No, he's not. Sorry, that was Peaceful who was on a better lap, as that is Welshie. Well, that's a strange place to have a spin.
Is it Welshie or Rabbit?
No, it's Welshie, isn't it? Welshie's got the white trim.
Right.
As he goes back into the pit, so he's not going to get another lap in. Who's that car at the end of the track? Little Leach will be the last one to do a lap. There is someone, and that was Disco. He's now done. I think Rabbit Joe's towards the end of his lap.
Oh, Leachy!
Leachy's done.
Dropped it.
Oh, there we go. Disco done. Leachy done. Where is Rabbit Joe? Quicker in sector 1. I think that's Joe coming towards the end, Kelly. Can we just jump on? It is Joe.
Yeah, there we go.
So let's see if we can get on him. Sutty and
Rabbit
Phil are
Joe
done as well. Here comes Joe.
With a strong night.
Yeah, I've not gone through the Q. I've missed the Q1 stats tonight. He's improved, and he's gone.
He has improved.
He's gone 9th. Here comes Peaceful. Not so. That's not the line.
No,
that's not the line.
That's not. That's an Acora line. That is.
Yeah.
Daniel Francis, you started it. Yeah, you're right. I did.
So it's 13th for Welshie at the minute. Sutty Apex will take a 12th place so far. Phil then is going to get an 11th. Monkey Boy, not seen much of Monkey Boy or heard much of Monkey Boy tonight. With Little Leach, Rabbit Joe, Peaceful and Disco in the pits. What can he do? He's got a couple of cars in front of him on track, 2 of them being the Shake and Bake Porsches. A Monkey Boy green through sector 1 and sector 2 then. Disco is in the pits. Obviously no one else improving other than Monkey Boy on this current lap. Andy is done as one of the Porsches go past him. Gary's still... Is Gary on a lap? I'm not quite sure.
Dan's done.
Yeah, Gary's on a lap. So it's Monkey Boy and Gary and D Biggs. No, Gary's not on a lap. That looked very slow from Gary actually. So here comes D Biggs. Can D Biggs improve? He does. He goes P3, so D Biggs improves that little bit more. What about Monkey Boy? Can he improve any? We'll find out. He did. No, he didn't. He stayed P10, so Monkey Boy stays 10th. So it is Andy then to take his second pole. Is that second pole? Third pole of the season then. Ahead of Unorthodox, who will drop to P3 ahead of his team, who will swap with his teammate then after his grid penalty there. D Biggs then will be promoted to 2nd. Gary will be promoted into 4th place. So good job from Gary, right on the same row as his championship rival. That Bozzy Boy, P5, he will not be disheartened with that one at all. Great qualifying from Liam. His form seems to be getting better at the minute, Kelly. Disco McDisco Face, P6, P7 if you're Peaceful Explosion, P8 for Little Each. Bit off the pace in this one. Rabbit Joe P9, Monkey Boy P10, Phil 11th, Sutty 12th and Welshie down in 13th. And I think we're about ready to get this race underway then and to get this one rolling. Who's your tip for the win, Kelly?
I'd be lying if I said anything but Dan. Unorthodox, as I said, I've seen his pace all week, and he's got it all dialed. But hey, D Biggs, don't take anything away from him. Gary, Liam again. Liam must having regular nosebleeds to be up that high. And of course, your pole man is Andy. And we know when Andy can string it all together, he's a quick boy. So any one of the top 4. But my money's got to be on Dan for many obvious reasons.
Yeah, I can see why. It's going to be an interesting one. This race here. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. I've got a feeling my money's on D Biggs tonight. I don't know. I just feel it might be D Biggs' night to step up onto that top step of the podium for the first time.
Well, that'd be nice to see.
It will be. Well, I don't think it's the first time actually, but for the first time this season, if you know what I mean.
Yes, indeed, for a race win this year, absolutely. Well, as I say, we'll see what progresses. We'll see what kind of starts they have, because qualifying is one thing, and the race is very, very different, and things can change very quickly.
Indeed, they can.
If you have a cracking start.
Indeed, they can. It is going to be very, very difficult off the line. It's a tricky first corner to get right for the guys, isn't it, going into turn 1?
Yeah.
Without causing that incident. Obviously, we saw Daniel Francis not start last night and get a terrible start, should I say, and it go wrong. But the lights are on, and we're away now, and Andy's got a great start. D-Big's very bogged down. Gary as well off the line. He's brilliantly away and splits the 2 Shake and Bake Porsches, and he's up into 2nd. D-Biggs did not move off that line, was very, very late. Didn't. Liam very wide through turn 1, but manages to come on. Disco right behind him. Andy, though, got the start he needed, as did this man Gary.
Yes, indeed. And Dan's already on the back of, already challenging Gary. He wants to be in front of him. These two are going for the title at the moment. They're the two guys.
Disco!
Oh, we've got Disco round in the background. And yeah,
Peaceful.
there he is. Peaceful's round as well. So all chaos going on towards the back there.
Yeah, poor old Liam. He's gone from 5th to 13th after a couple of corners, Kelly.
No.
What a shame for him. We've got BT in the chat as well. All right, Kelly and Matt, come on. Danny says, a lot of Dan fans in there tonight. Come on, Liam, says Dean. Liam for the win, says Daniel Francis. Need a bit of carnage. Would you some in the pros? This the championship battle, though, for 2nd and 3rd already here tonight. D Biggs, though, just did not get away.
No, he seemed to bog down at the start, didn't he? And just didn't kind of get it moving. I thought we were going to have a repeat of last night with the aforementioned Daniel Francis start, where his wheel didn't connect, and I managed to miss him, but a few others ploughed into the back of him. I thought we were going to have a bit of a repeat for that, but D Biggs did get away. It was just a little bit slow. Gary having an absolute stormer, jumped the shake and bake car straight away and into 2nd place, and for Liam having an absolute shocker and going back down after all his good work. But Dan's on a mission here. He's got his teammate behind him, but Little Leach has come up as well. Little Leach was what?
8th.
Yeah,
8th.
He's there. So it's Andy out front in the Ginetta, and then it's the championship contenders, the 4 Porsches, the Leachies and the Shake and Bake Porsches.
There goes Dan.
And this is a scrap.
Oh, Dan just leaning on Gary.
Each other.
Nothing comes of that one. Then Gary will have the inside line. Dan's going to have to back out of that one. He's going to try and keep it around the outside. He gets a bit of a twitch on there as he just makes contact with Gary. D Biggs nearly got in the way of Dan returning to make sure he didn't drift too wide. Rabbit Joe in the background, very wide. And Dan now settles back in between the 2 Porsches of Gary and his teammate D Biggs. But Dan there showing that he's going to get his elbows out and he's not giving anything up for chance here, as he's got to tuck back in. And just like last night, it's Matt Neal and Gordon Shedden. It's Kelly and Nicky all over again, and D Biggs has tapped the rear of Dan, and round he goes, and that is a catastrophe moment there between the Shake and Bake boys.
Yes, indeed. Daniel will not be happy about that one. I know he had the bit between his teeth and certainly wanted to take it to Gary this evening, and it was shaping up for
here goes Craig.
Little Leach is... Oh, I thought he was going to collect D Biggs there on that one. So Daniel probably not a very happy guy right now. But he's in 7th place and he's got pace. Daniel, if you're listening on the stream, just settle in. Settle in and pick them off one by one. Don't overdrive the car.
D Biggs at the minute will be having flashbacks of Monday night when Little Leach sent one on him on the last lap. He had to give the place back. That went to the steward's room after, and Craig gave the place back to Little Leach on a Monday night. But D Biggs, bit of a wiggle over the curve for Little Leach. D Biggs will be watching in his mirrors. Joe, cracking start from Joe up into P5. So Rabbit Joe starting to make the progression up the grids. I tell you what, such Apex, you can tell he's not been on as much recently because struggling in Adacora. Phil's up to 9th behind Disco, and Dan, though, gotta get his head round this one. Here is Phil. Here goes Unorthodox. He's on the back of Monkey Boy, and I don't fancy his chances down this straight compared to Monkey Boy. That Mercedes is rather good in a straight line, and you see there, look, Dan just not really attacking him because he knows that Mercedes just pulls a little bit. Is Monkey Boy looking up the inside of Joe? No, Joe's managed to get it tucked in nice. The Porsche, though, look how much Dan gained and Joe pulled away on that Mercedes through Stowe Corner. Now down towards Vale, towards Club, where Dan had a look at Gary last lap. Again, will be on the outside for the double right-hander. Looking for that cutback. He's great move there. Great move from Dan.
Awesome. Yeah,
brilliant
got that right
stuff.
to the inside. Yeah, that's what I couldn't do in that car. I couldn't get it to the inside like that. That's where I was losing out. So he got one over on Monkey Boy. He's got to go after Rabbit Joe now. I don't think, with no disrespect to Rabbit Joe whatsoever, but I don't think Daniel will be long behind Rabbit Joe. And then he's got to get back on the onto the A game and catch back up with Leach. So he's 8 seconds off the lead at the moment.
Oh, look at Disco as well.
And we're only lap 3. So all still to play for. As we go on with Disco. Disco has come right up behind Monkey Boy, and those Mercs are fast in a straight line.
They are
very, very fast.
Now Sutty's going to have to pit again, because obviously the new rule change last night was only for the Pro-Am, so Sutty will have to pit again here. It was only for the Pro-Am as a tester going forward for next season, so the Pros still have to make their double pit stops if they cannot pit. The pit window is lap 5. Gary's managed to get gap D Biggs that little bit now. The pressure's off from Dan. Disco, after his poor first lap and having a spin with Liam and Peaceful, he's on the back of that Monkey Boy Joe Dan battle that Dan has now got past Rabbit Joe, and look, has gone. Disco now on the back of the Mercedes Benz. We said let's keep an eye on the Disco BMW tonight and see what he can do. At the minute, it looks like he's got a bit of pace around here. Oh, Joe's made a mistake.
Oh, Rabbit Joe.
Yeah, coming through Beckett's. Joe's made a bit of a mistake there. Maybe just took a bit too much curb, lost the rear.
Looked like it.
Yeah, dropped a couple of places. He's now got Phil, I don't think right on the back of him, but behind him.
What's happened to Andy?
Oh, no, what has happened to Andy?
In 4th.
Oh, well, has he dropped it somewhere? He's now going to have Dan on the back of him. What could have been for the race lead 2 laps ago is now for P4. Great spot there, Kelly. But Gary, now then, everything Dan didn't want to happen is happening. And Andy's coming in. Why is Andy coming in? Andy's a strange one.
He's got damage.
Well,
doesn't look damaged.
Fuel?
Fuel, maybe fuel.
Get the speedo loaded. Yeah, get the speedo loaded.
Yes.
Hang on. Let's stay with him. Let's go on board, Andy.
Hang on.
Andy got a flyer. I think drive-through. He's got a drive-through.
Could be.
That's a
drive. What would he have got a drive-through for?
Jump start.
Could be.
Andy got away really well, if you remember, and Gary got away well as well. So did Gary jump the start as well, I wonder? Interesting. Wow. Gary's got D Biggs on the back of him. Andy's now came out P11 after his mistake. Andy's drive. If he didn't make that mistake, he probably would have jumped that Bozzy Boy, but has made the mistake, so has work to do from here. What a shame.
If you remember, Matt, I said a lap and a half ago that Daniel was 8 seconds off the lead. He's now down to 4.8.
He is down to 4.8. He's not out of it. He is not out of it. How wide is Little Leach's Porsche about to become? Is it going to be like Bottas, where we need you to be as wide as possible to not let Verstappen through, and he goes and cocks it up? Or is this Porsche going to be the biggest Porsche in the world? It's Leachy Legend Shake and Bake. Leachy Legend Shake and Bake. And Gary here is doing exactly what he needs to do. The question is Disco. Now, Disco behind
Did
Joe.
Disco get...
Yes, Disco's made a mistake somewhere, because Disco was with Monkey Boy, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. So Disco's made a mistake, dropped back behind Rabbit Joe.
Peaceful's got past Phil.
Phil's looking racy.
He's a bit laggy as well.
Lagging a little bit.
Yeah, Peaceful's got past Phil. And here goes Disco then, just having a look. Tucks back in. There's Liam in the background. There's Andy. And Disco towards Stowe Corner on the brakes. And does he? He's got that nose up the inside of the BMW. And Joe giving him the respect. Oh, I thought he was going to lose it there. But, he's not got the run out of Stowe, has he? Because Joe has him done and comes down into Club Corner. Gets the braking in. Nicely tucked in. Dan gaining on the back of Little Leach that little bit more now. He was the quickest man out the front 4 last time around. Was some margin quicker than the 2 Leach Legends cars as well.
Yeah, Daniel's dragged himself right back into this race, hasn't he? After his teammate gave him a bit of a nudge, it seems to be magnets fitted to these Porsches. They seem to attract each other and then crash,
especially in the same team.
Yeah, it seems to be, doesn't it? It's happened a little bit this week, and but Dan is right back on the back of Little Leach, and D Biggs is still keeping Gary honest a little bit further up the road. So this is going to shape up. Don't go anywhere.
And this is the championship battle as well, Kelly, as Disco has now got past Joe, but Joe's looking to go up the inside, and he's looked a bit too far back to make that one stick, and indeed he hasn't got nowhere near the inside of Disco. So Disco then moves himself back up into P6. Joe down in 7th place. Because we've had 13 start this race, the top 6 can't qualify for race 2. And what has happened to Disco? Because Joe's got back past him, and now Peaceful's got past him. He's lost it out to Luffield.
Yeah.
So not only Peaceful has got past him, the Acura is about to overtake another car, as looks maybe Liam. In fact, is the Acura? No, the Acura can't. Phil, is he going to look up the inside? No, that Bozzy Boy's getting involved in a battle. He's got a quick Janetta on the rear of him. Oh, Andy on the curb! Andy on the curb! Andy. And he's
I was just about to say these lot are going to watch out, because Andy's going to come steaming through. Unfortunately, he dropped it, got up on the curb and just bottomed the car or whatever, and that was the end of that. Dan has got in front. of Little Leach.
He has, but he's straight away at the end of lap 5, brought it right into the pit. So
slow it down.
Daniel then is in the pit lane, first man to pull the trigger. Now Little Leach still about 5 seconds, 4 something seconds off the back of Gary, so I wouldn't assume Little Leach has had a problem. Maybe Dan just getting past him. Oh, in fact, look at the time Little Leach set. Maybe he did have a bit of a problem somewhere, a 2:05. And that is a heck of a stop. That is a heck of a stop there. Now, where's Dan going to come out? What kind of traffic is coming out for Daniel? There goes Joe. There goes Peaceful. Long old pit lane, this one. Disco going to get past as well? I think he might. And I think as might Phil and Liam. So Dan has got some traffic to clear.
Yes, indeed. And, he comes right out behind Liam and the dancing Akora, which is lagging all over the shop. D Biggs is close to Gary again, and
seems to be
walking down to half second.
Ebbing and flowing a little bit here, doesn't it, between these two? He pulls the gap in, he just drops off a little bit. He pulls the gap in. I wonder if it's just a bit of tyre management maybe for D Biggs. Just try and attack, try and put him under pressure, and then just save the tyres for one lap and go again.
Yeah, maybe so. It's you would have presumed that everyone's running the hard tyres. So yeah, I find that the Porsche, if you keep going round, you get tyres in that zone, they tend to stay reasonably consistent. It's when you start spinning and lighting them up is when you have is when you start to have trouble with them. But yeah, these pro guys are better at it than I am. So that could well be the case.
Dan's got past Liam, so he's done one on his quest. And he's looking like he's going to try and pass Phil. Yeah, Maggots and Beckett's as well. Phil's keeping it there, which is well within his right to do. I wouldn't have made that move if I was Dan.
Worrying, isn't it?
It is worrying a little bit. Dan will get Phil on the exit. And can Liam try and follow Dan through here then? Just the Akora, he's not going to have the legs on that Porsche.
Gary's pitted.
Gary is in the pits, end of lap 6. So clearly worried about the undercut of Dan. Gary straight into the pit lane then. D Biggs has been released. It's a long, long old pit lane, this one, Kelly. It is.
Yeah, it is. It is, and very easy to mess up the entry. As we had a few people last night did that, I believe.
Yeah.
You've got to. It's a very, very fast entry, and really quite easy to mess it up and get a penalty. So they have to be mindful. So Dan, is he going to?
No, Gary's just coming out now. He's just coming up the hill. Look, he's off the limiter. So Gary's done his stop. That's that one done. So Gary then
how far away
remains.
Is Dan?
Dan's
Not
just
so
there
away.
now. Couple of seconds, I'd say. 1.4. So Dan's closed the gap, but Gary's got his pit stop over and done with. That's that job done. If you're Gary, we've lost a driver. We've lost Andy. So Andy again, no points for him in this first race. We hope to have him back in the second one. But Andy struggling since he was on pole as well, let's not forget, and no points for him in this second race tonight. Then Peaceful. He's kind of kept it, but at the same time lost it. We are celebrating somebody's 50th appearance tonight, and that'll be D Biggs in race 2. So what a night for D Biggs on his 50th appearance. Can he get that first win? Now, what has happened to Daniel?
Disco's gone off again.
Disco's retired. Disco was just retired from the race. But what happened to Dan? Because Dan is still there. Actually, he was in between Disco. So I wonder what happened to Disco then.
I think that was right in the middle of Disco having a spin.
Right.
To be honest with you.
There we go then.
I think that's why it kind of looked that way.
Right. So Disco's retired from this race. What a shame for him. Clearly struggling in the BMW. Needs to obviously make it work for the second race. No points for him because you've got to get to lap 12 to score points in this race, and for him that is a real shame. For this man though, what can he do is Battle TNT is trying to get in the session but cannot, so he's trying to join somebody through their friends list as D Biggs pits then. Now is the overcut the way to go? He's pitted at the end of lap 7. Is the overcut the way to go? Will the overcut work on Gary and Dan? We'll see where he comes out. Needs that heck of a pit stop. He's gone. The shake and bake lads pit stops tonight, they're on fire.
I know what they're doing. I
know exactly what they're doing. And I think
I tried it last night and it didn't work.
Peaceful into the pits as well at the end of lap 7. I think D Biggs has jumped Gary here. I think D Biggs is already out the pits. He is. D Biggs, what a job, what a stop from the team, what a job from D Biggs. He's jumped Gary 131. He's now net first place before Little Leech and Monkey Boy both do their pit stop. Then he's got Joe behind him,
by
peaceful in the pit
as well,
by some margin. What is that? 4-5 seconds the gap?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was quite a margin. As we see Dan now getting very close to Gary. Championship rivals, these guys are at the top of the tables, going for the win, plus the constructors as well, with Leachy Legends against Shake and Bake. So
here goes
to play for here.
No, tucks back in, comes back out,
has
another look.
Has another look.
Just knocks on the door. Is he not going? No, the thing is that I don't ever see the point in making the move into Brooklands. If you're going to do it, try the outside, I think, because if you can stick it round the outside, you set yourself up for Luffield, because it's so easy to defend Luffield.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brooklands was the one that I was particularly struggling on all week. That was the one where I kept having spins in practice. It's
Andy,
a tricky corner.
Not retired, disqualified for speeding in the pits again. Well then,
yes,
so there we go. Disco, I'm out, cars undrivable, had zero practice, no concentration even, no point putting other cars at risk. Lost the head after Liam punted me in turn 4, so maybe an investigation into Liam, then maybe that's what caused the spin at the start. Sutty then back into the pits at the end of lap 7. We're on lap 8, but Sutty's in at the end of lap 7. Yeah, already just over halfway through this race. And Gary here keeping Dan at bay.
Yes, indeed. I wonder if Dan's just biding his time for that clean move. Who knows? We'll certainly see. But these two
Monkey Boy
looking racy. They're the closest battle on track at the moment. I've said this before to people. For people who are watching, we get little indicators on our screen to say who's within 1 second of each other, and this is the closest battle on track. I'm not just following Dan because I like it. It's for a reason.
And especially at this stage of this, when you get to this part of the season, don't you?
Gary's
a little wide onto the grass. He'll keep that inside line covered then. So he's managed to. Yeah, he didn't. Oh, Gary just starting to push. Maybe
kind of easy. Sorry, mate. So kind of easy to go wide on that turn 2. If you get off, kind of off your line at the beginning of it, you just run so wide. But he held it all together, made it stick. They're not catching Rabbit Joe particularly quickly, are they?
Oh, we've lost Welshie from the session, so he's not going to score a point in that first one. So we've lost 3 drivers tonight. So 1 disqualification, 1 retirement. Not sure what's happened to Welshie there, but that is a shame to see Welshie disconnecting.
Yeah.
And real big shame for him as well, as he is one of the drivers on his double points tonight, so it is a real shame that. D Biggs then still about 4 seconds in front of these two, as these two are gaining on Rabbit Joe. Now, Joe's not yet pitted, neither's Little Leach. Joe could just play a bit of a burden, a bit of a thorn in Gary or Dan's side here if he was to get in the way of these guys. Let's see through Maggotts and Beckett's. Just that dab on a brake, take as much curve there. Now, Gary, just a different line to Dan.
Yeah,
through there.
A wider line through the second part of it, wasn't he?
Yeah, and it didn't look like Dan gained massively or lost massively, neither did it really. So Joe just becoming a bit of a burden here.
He will in a minute. There's going to be another Schumacher Mika Hakkinen kind of thing go on in a minute.
Oh, Dan looking late, and Joe very wide. Gary's going to go up the inside. Now this is for position. This isn't like they're being lapped. So Joe here on the grass, staying left.
I'd be nervous.
I'd be very nervous. Joe has let them two go. Now, oh no, he hasn't.
Oh, that's why I'd be nervous.
Was that Joe, or did Dan kind of turn in on Joe a little bit there? Dan, I mean, we wasn't clearly able to see, but Dan, was he fully alongside? I wonder. Joe then has lost out massively because of that one. That was for position as well, so Joe had the rights to be there. And I just wonder a little bit there, Kelly, if Dan turned in on Joe a bit.
I thought Daniel was far enough over.
We don't know how far he was in front, do we? That's the problem with the cameras.
No, we don't. Yeah. But, and I have certainly learned that driver perspective and streams perspective can be 2 very different things. As little instances I've had through the season that I've seen them one way and they look very different on the stream.
Do you think it was a case of Gary's got through, I need to get through now before I lose that little bit too much time sort of manoeuvre?
I wouldn't like to assign blame here right at the moment because
I don't think anybody's at blame. I don't think it's anything more than a racing incident. But do you think Dan's mentality was,
quite right.
I need to get through now because Gary's just got through.
Yeah, everything that Gary does, Dan needs to do immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I would have done the same, to be fair. I would have been zoned in on the back of Gary's Porsche and would have stayed with it. That would have been...
Oh, now that didn't look too good for Daniel there. That looked like a bit of lag. That's not what he wants.
Didn't it?
Yeah, make sure you give that time back, Dan.
Absolutely. Looks very easy to run wide there.
You was terrible for it last night.
I was a little bit.
There in the last corner, you was terrible for it. Dan has lost a little, a tenth or two to Gary. It's easy to give the time back through Maggots and Beckett's, isn't it?
It is, yeah, which I did a lot. And to be fair, it was probably on the stream. Every time that it was on me, that the camera was on me, I seemed to run wide. There was laps where I didn't. You know, there was probably every other lap that wasn't on the stream, but it did look like I run wide a lot, and almost to the point where I'm going, wow, I keep running wide a lot. Is Dan having another look? He ain't going to go around the outside. He might be trying to switch back and do something different. Lost a little bit of momentum between the two corners. Dan's on the power hard now.
Yeah,
is this the one?
I get the sense Dan is really wanting this and really wanting to push for it because he's just running a little bit wide, just touching the grass a little bit at times, and one of them mistakes at one time and that could be game over if he was to hit the brakes on the grass. Gary again, a very wide through there is Gary. Is that just not his normal line?
Maybe that's his natural line.
Yeah, I wonder. But Dan here, it looks like his mentality is leave nothing out there. Just all on the table today. What I've got to do. He knows he's a two-time champion. He knows he's coming against the best here at SimPlay Motorsport in the fact that he's won the 2 championships. He's really got to get his finger out to get past him. It's not going to be easy, like maybe passing a couple of other drivers.
Yes, exactly. This is the sharp end stuff. This is for sure. So yeah, Daniel, very racy. He wants this, but that's how championships are won. We were talking last night in the chat that I was in, party I was in with Prolassi drivers, and we were talking about dirty air following a car so closely and how it does have an effect.
Sorry, Kelly, sorry to cut you off. Chris, I'm guessing I was speeding in the pits, braked hard, put the limiter on. Next thing I know, black screen, I'm DQ'd. Oh, Chris, you've been done for speeding in the pits in Season 1 when you dropped the pad at Silverstone, if you remember. I forgot to say it at the start. You got away, though, but... Did you drop the wheel and speed? Oh, what a shame.
Oh, dear.
What a shame. So, 2 speeding in the pit lane. Naughty boys.
Absolutely. Daniel Francis in chat, not a report on Dan. The one I put in on Kelly, which he just blatantly admitted. No, I said I went off track. You said I didn't give up the position. Well, to be fair, Daniel, you were nowhere near. So there was no position to give up. So, we'll leave that one to the stewards to sort out, I think, Dan, don't you?
Craig has came into the pits. Daniel unorthodox all over the back of Gary there. Gary just... It's all or nothing, isn't it? Little Leach, is he on his way out? I'm not sure. D. Biggs then inherits such a gap in this race lead. It's unbelievable. Rabbit Joe himself has came into the pit lane as well. So that's what we want to see. That is everybody who is now pitted then in this race. Everybody is done. Gary again taking that wider line and breaks in, manages to get it stopped. Yeah. Ebbing and flowing this a little bit because Dan gets so close.
Yeah.
And like with Gary and D Biggs, except it's a bit closer. Dan gets right up to the back of him and then just drops off. Just a couple of tenths. Interesting. Yes, D Biggs though has got a heck of a lead.
I was going to say, D Biggs still out in front, 5 seconds out in front. It's got to be looking good for D Biggs if he keeps it all together. So it's D Biggs leading, and then these two second and third. More interested in a championship fight than they are the ultimate win. These two.
Points mean prizes. Points mean prizes.
Points mean prizes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Where's Little Leach came out? Little Leach's came out P4, but 10 seconds off the back of these guys. So he's pretty much null and void in helping his brother and teammate out in this one. But the top 2 teams in the standings are the top 4 cars out there. And that's why they're at the top, because they're in this position week in, week out. And it's great to see such battles after what has been really, you have to say, in the Pro Series. Gary goes on holiday. Dan has to score a lot of good points to catch Gary back up after his disastrous Donington Park where it went horribly wrong for him. It's been one of them championships that they are both just leaving everything out there, aren't they? And it's just everything, you know what I mean, on the track from these guys.
Yeah. And it's exactly what we want, isn't it? It's exactly what we want. We don't we don't want to whitewash by any any one driver. We want to battle in a championship. So and that's exactly what we're getting here.
As Gary then comes round to start lap 13. Well, not start lap 13 because it's already started by D-Biggs. Gary then just starting to defend a bit more from unorthodox than maybe what he'd like to. Maybe like Dan just a bit further behind him. But Gary doing exactly what he needs to do. Now, Dan, has he got to run through the corner? That's Gary's normal line through there. Every lap, Gary seems to take that line and seems to get it.
His line, isn't it?
Yeah, he seems to get it nicely hooked up into this little section. Dan cannot find a way through. And the thing is Gary's not flustered very easy. He's not looking like the pressure is getting to him.
No, he's defending there through that. I can't remember what that section's called. Village, is it? Is that the village section? Yeah, that village section. Very easy to defend that one, and very easy to defend Maggots and Beckett's, and he's doing exactly that, and putting the car exactly where he needs to put it, just to keep Daniel off him. And Daniel moving around, trying different lines, trying to get a run on Gary.
He's got to, hasn't he? Because he can't get past any other way. It's not like the pressure's getting to Gary. He's got to force the issue now.
Indeed.
Jamie Brazier, sorry Kelly, Jamie Brazier, Fry and Brew Racing. This is painful for me watching the top three in the championship getting a lot of points. Well,
yes, I can imagine.
Don't go on holiday.
Yeah, don't go on holiday. Yeah, tune your life round sim racing.
He's only on the pad. He'd have probably had better Wi-Fi connection in his caravan or lodge or bungalow, whatever he was staying. He'd have probably had better Wi-Fi in there. And he's on the pad. As Dan there, look, just pushing a little too hard, maybe. Just. Oh, he's struggling a little bit here. Rabbit Joe's got ahead of Peaceful Explosion on the timing screens after the pit stops. Liam's on the back of Peaceful Explosion as well.
I tell you what, Matt, win or lose, either of these guys win or lose this battle, you've got to say it's been a cracking battle. They've both got to be, they've both got to be happy with the racing that they have.
Yeah. We've lost Disco. It looks like he's not going to race the second one. Not enjoying the BMW tonight. Not in the right mindset, so he'd rather not be a danger to other drivers out there tonight, which is a shame because Disco, quick lad, so we're not going to see the BMW's true potential. But you're right, Kelly. No matter the outcome of this battle, it's been one heck of a fight. A great defensive drive from Gary and a great offensive drive from Unorthodox.
Absolutely, but it's not over yet. We got about a lap and 3/4 to go. Yeah. Gary's on the grass just slightly, but as I said, easy to defend that corner there, and I think Gary did there. I think he kind of held down on the brakes a little bit on the apex of the corner, which he's entitled to do.
Good touring car knowledge. That Jason Plato's a brilliant driver at doing that one on the apex of the corner, just pretty much stopping it to make the other driver behind you not be able to carry that momentum through. Dan's going to have a look up the inside into Brooklands now. Gary covers that one off as they head towards Lovefield, and Dan again just can't get the right side of Gary to get this to set up the move for the next corner.
It's exactly what I was trying to do to Fury last night. I was trying to hold him back through Maggots and Beckett's and just holding him on the apexes to stop him getting a run on me, which he got a run on me. Well, he gave me a little tap at one point, but I didn't have a.
Do you know the best thing about this, Kelly, is D-Big, these two, while they're fighting, are running at the same pace as D-Big's out front. Another thing, look at Liam's last lap.
Liam. Oh, look at that. 2:03.7. He's got pace, hasn't he? He's got pace.
He's on the back of Peaceful at the moment. That's a battle going off as well, a bit further down the pack.
Yeah,
let's briefly jump to that one. Liam all over the back of Peaceful here.
Yep.
Iron Brew Racing, which is Jamie Brazier. The funny thing is, the Wi-Fi was actually better where I was staying, and he only uses the pad. Now, I wonder if you'd have been allowed to have raced for a couple of hours. He's home today, I do believe. As here goes Dan then, down towards Club, looking to get around the outside of Gary to be on the inside for the second part, and again, just cannot do it. Tries to look for that amazing cutback, and I think he's got it. I think he's got a run on Gary then. They're going to lean on each other. Dan then, has he just got enough? Gary been forced a little wide there, but that's just racing. No, he hasn't. Well done, Gary.
No, he hasn't got it done. That was momentum back off the corner, wasn't it?
I tell you what, racing's racing. As much as people may in the chat say that does Gary have to get that position back, I saw nothing.
That's all right, isn't it?
I saw nothing wrong with that. Dan gives him a little. You go out there, I'll get past you a bit easier then. And Gary says, "Nah, mate, I'll keep going." I see nothing wrong with that.
If we're going to get all silly about track limits, if we're going to get all silly about track limits, we might as well switch the slowdowns back on.
Exactly.
And nobody wants that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Let's all suck it up and let's not worry too much.
These two have caught D Biggs by a second. Is D Biggs just going to try and drop to Gary? No.
Surely not now. Not on lap 15.
Not when he needs his. Not when he wants his first race win of the season. He's still about 5 seconds clear of Dan, 4.9 clear of Gary. So now he maybe just made. Yeah, he probably just made a little mistake somewhere.
Or maybe just backing up a little bit. You know, because he's got 5 seconds in hand.
Easing it so he doesn't make the mistakes. Yeah, possibly. So here he is. We'll cut back to D Biggs in just a moment. As the cameraman's going to pick Dan and Gary up coming into Maggots and Beckett's now then, and I tell you what a cracking drive from these two. Liam's still not got past Peaceful either, but we'll check that when they're crossing when they're about to cross the grid. Is Dan now just settling for third? I mean, it
looks like he's backed out.
Yeah, he'd need a big enough spin to drop back to Little Leach, who's 13 seconds behind. But maybe, just maybe, he's happy with third place and he's going to look at race 2 then.
Ooh.
But on Orthodox here,
he's happy.
I don't think he's
happy.
I do think D Biggs, where is he? He's just coming to the last couple of corners. Let's go on board with Dom, as he's going to take his first race win of the season. Probably the most consistent driver this season here at SimPlay Motorsport. He's going to take his first win then, and what a drive from D Biggs. It is job done in terms of him. 1 race win tonight. What a drive from the 2 for second and third. Gary is just going to take it ahead of Unorthodox. What a battle that was. Little Leach is going to come home P4, then well in front of the rest of the pack. In fact, he's the same distance ahead of Monkey Boy as what he was behind Unorthodox. So, good little drive from Little Leach, and he's keeping that pressure on Shake and Bake in them Constructors' Championship points. Monkey Boy then, he's going to take a P5 in this one. Is he? Yeah, because Joe's behind him. That's Sutty, who's a lap down. Now, Sutty has gone on the grass there. Kelly, I'm sure you can appreciate that.
I can.
Monkey Boy
great blade on that one.
Monkey Boy comes round to take a P5. Rabbit Joe is going to take a P6. Sutty Apex then will finish in P10. Good drive from Joe. Good drive.
Yeah, good drive,
Peaceful then at P8 ahead of Liam. Liam, good start, good qualifying. Not the result he may have wanted in P8. Phil then will come out to take P9. The last car on the lead lap after Sutty was lapped then. We await the fastest lap of the race.
Is that the 2 Acoras both last?
No, it beat the BMW, the Ginetta, and one of the Porsches that all retired. So it beat them. Not last, because last was 11th, 12th, and 13th. Fastest lap of the race. Oh, this is a close one. Dan at 2:02 dead. Dan gets the fastest lap of the race. Yeah. Just look at the classification screen. Look, Welsh and Andy are still there, so they beat Welsh and Andy. So Dan gets an extra point for that one. So instead of losing 5 points, he only loses 4 points. We're going to be right back after a very quick break, and then we'll be able to see who can do what, who can qualify where. Joe, Monkey Boy, Little Leach, Unorthodox, Gary, and D Biggs can't qualify. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment. And we're clear.
Cool. Well, that was a scrap, wasn't it?
Lovely little fight, that. Lovely little fight.
Yeah.
If it's going to be like that for the rest of the evening, we could be in for one heck of a stream. Fuck the rest of the evening. Yeah. The rest of the stream. The season, sorry.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I was just reading Phil's comment. Phil and Sutty, a.k.a. Schumacher and Mazepin.
Oh.
Oh dear. Oh, bloody Daniel Francis. He's such a...
Oh, he gets on my fucking nerves.
Yeah, he's beginning to really kind of grate on me a little bit. We are off stream, aren't we?
Yeah. Right, let's invite everybody back in. Let's get Dan, Gary and Biggs in for a chat. Let's do that. So the stream's got some music. D Biggs. Oh, apologies. Apologies, Kelly. Cheers. Gary. Right, while they come in, I'm just going to pop to the toilet.
Alright, mate. D Biggs.
Yes, we'll take that.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, look, and here's Dan. Hope you two have had a chat together already.
I think we've kissed and made up already.
Oh, you've kissed and made up already, have you? Yeah.
Wasn't my fault.
Apologise enough.
Wasn't my fault.
There's no toys being thrown out, Dan.
No. I just said, let's just get on with it. Just go.
Yeah. So. I said exactly the same as it happened to me last night. Yeah.
Can we borrow some of your fuel, boys?
Can I borrow some of your tissues?
They're like fucking rockets.
Good drive, Gary. Good defence.
Don't know. It just held me there.
Yeah,
I literally done no repairs, nothing.
Ah, brilliant. Yeah, because I was right up your chuff when you went in, and then I think I only pitted the lap after, and you were 4 seconds back.
Yeah. You had a hell of a pit stop.
Oh, mate, I'm sweating after that.
I bet. Race that down.
Huh?
Good race that, mate.
Oh, mate, that was awesome.
You could have put your hand.
Best race I've ever had.
Oh, mate,
that was awesome.
I was getting so frustrated. I was getting so annoyed because I was quicker than you in some places. Yep. I just couldn't get the traction. I couldn't do anything with it. Slipstream, and then every time I caught you, it was in the most stupidest of places.
Dom. Gary will give you that $5 in a bit, yeah?
On the back of Gary's Porsche, can't you, Dan?
Oh, mate, I think I've seen the back of that Porsche for fucking 10 laps.
He's lost half of them off.
There was the stream is very dominant of you two because there was very little other battles going on that were.
It reminded me of touring cars, Silverstone International in the wet.
Right.
Where me and you were side by side for a couple of laps, but that was for the whole race. I was just hoping that you were going to drop it. You had a couple of tweaks after, was it Wellington Straight? Into, what are they called? Is it McLean's? I don't know.
Ah, yeah, I know where you're on about.
Yeah. You kept losing the rear, didn't you, on entry?
My arse just goes, see ya.
Yeah.
And then it snaps. But if it snaps too much, I let you shoot off the track.
The problem was, that was this point where I couldn't find anywhere through. I was stuck there. I was like, there's nowhere good to attack you. I couldn't go around the outside of you.
I've never parked the car so well in all my life.
Dan, I need to pass on a message, by the way.
From who?
Who do you think?
Joe.
Nope. Beth says you're never going to beat him. He's too good.
I mean, he was fucking sweating there. I could feel his sweat.
You could probably feel it. It was probably coming off and hitting you in the face. You were so close.
Oh man, that's annoying me because that annoyed me because I know that he's ahead of me in the points, and I wanted to get past him. I just wanted to get more points.
I nearly yielded and let you pass. And I thought, nah, fuck it, I'll make him work for it.
Well done, Dom, as well. By the way, good win.
I said on the stream, whichever one of you comes out on top of this, you'll both be happy with that race because that was, do you know what I mean? That was clean and fair.
I wouldn't have cared if I finished third. I enjoyed that race so much; it was brilliant.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought that both of you would say. Do you know what I mean? Because it was good, clean racing for sure.
Matt, is that Dom's first win ever on SimPlay?
That's Dom's. Let me get to my stats page, Kelly. You'll love this.
I think it is.
Oh, stats page.
It is. That's D Biggs' second win. He got one season one.
Oh.
I did take the DTM line over the start-finish line at one of them laps.
D Biggs got. D Biggs won one in season one. Who won it? Did D Biggs win at Bruno?
No, I did.
Daniel did. Yeah, Daniel won at Bruno in the wet. First win.
It was me and.
Where did Biggs win?
Sorry.
It wasn't Spa because that was the first race. They used to hit each other again.
Craig,
Dom, did you have a few flashbacks of Little Each sending one on you again?
Yeah, it was a little bit twitchy at the start. I'm a bit nervous.
Okay, actually, I've got a thing to say. Gary, what's with the little shove at the start?
You what?
You gave me a right wallop at the start.
Oh, what, when I went between you both? Well, it's because Biggs was coming over and then you were coming over the other way. I was like, shit, I've got to glide off one here.
Imola season one, very last race of the season. That's what D Biggs won, the very last race of the season.
To be fair, Dan, I thought I jumped the start in all fairness.
So did
we
I.
thought you did as well.
I thought my screen sort of glitched a little bit, and then I see DT go up next to Andy, and I thought, oh, brilliant! I haven't got one. Let's go.
I saw the exact same thing. I thought, oh, that's one less person to worry about.
Were you on the softs or the hards?
Hards.
Yeah, I'd been practicing and qualifying on the softs. That was the first time I've been on the track with the hards. Wet in the first bend. I thought this didn't stick them very well.
PlayStation running all right, Gary?
Seems to be, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to
You got a
disconnect
cold?
this race.
Hay fever, mate.
Ah, right. Oh, Daniel Francis
Hello.
is joining us on the GT5s on Monday.
No, he's not.
That'll be somebody else to moan and drip and whinge and moan.
He does like to moan, doesn't he? That's for sure.
Good God,
I'm gonna make contact with him so that we can have something to discuss about.
Well, he'll start at the back of the grid because he'll be a newcomer, so.
And he'll end up at the back of the grid.
And D-Big starts to start near him because, you know, he's now leading championships. So. Fucking stupid internet cable.
Wow.
So hang on,
Good luck with that,
just stupid whole fucking night. Start me on the slicks.
As much as I felt sorry for you then, I was a small smile.
Yeah, I can imagine. I was in the party with Craig still, and Craig went, "Shall I send it?" And I went, "It'd be rude not to, Craig." And then he did actually send it, and I was like, "Oh my god, fucking what have you just done?"
Guys, the
That
game's
was fucking brilliant.
No, it's not. It's loading.
What? Yeah, mine's doing the same. What cars are you guys running in the GT5s?
It's not loading.
GT5 Janetta. Oh, give it 2 seconds. Yep, I'm in.
If Janetta's all the way, is it?
Yeah, it's just the GT5 is just the
Janetta's,
it's basically the Janetta Junior, but a version that's 10 mile an hour quicker.
Yeah, the Janetta Junior with a slightly remapped engine.
Yeah.
10 mile an hour, more like 100 mile an hour.
No, they're about,
the
they're about 10 mile
Junior's
an hour,
like
15 mile an
horsepower.
hour quicker than the juniors.
Is that all it is?
Yeah.
When you're in them juniors, it feels like you go backwards.
Yeah,
Juniors are 100 horsepower in the real life ones, and
Right.
I think the GT5s are 150.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we've just lost somebody.
There's only 11.
Phil
in.
Suttit, Unorthodox Gary, Rabbit, Monkey, Welshie, D-Bigs. That was his boy. I'm not sure. Right, we'll go live.
Disco isn't bothered, is he?
Yeah, but there was 13, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
Rabbit Joe's it.
Yeah, Joe, Welshie, Liam,
Where's my
D-Bigs.
teammate? My teammate's gone.
Craig.
Sutty?
It's Craig. No, it's Craig. It's Craig. Right.
All right.
We're
What's he
live.
playing at?
We're going live. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen. We've just lost Little Each, so hopefully we can get him back in. Top 6 cannot qualify for this, so he can't qualify anyway, but he'll need to get back in for the race. Just going to quickly run you through the current championship standings as it is at the moment. 4 drivers taking their double points tonight. D Biggs, Monkey Boy, Welshie and Rabbit Joe all taking their double points. But as it stands at the moment, Gary leads the title. 10 points now. Not clear of just one shake and bake car, but both shake and bake cars. D Biggs is level with Unorthodox going into this second race tonight and for the obviously rest of the season at the moment. Little Each has dropped off the back a little bit in P4, but is now 9 points clear of Big Boy Brazier. Emo Guy still in 5th. Monkey Boy jumps ahead of Peaceful Explosion. That's a point between them two. Liam nearing that 100 point mark has got Rabbit Joe bursting into the top 10 after Andy's DNF. Disco stays where he is. Joe and Sutty, Phil and Sutty then both above Welsh as he now is to the bottom of the pile. And Shake and Bake have a 31 point lead in the constructors table going into this next race. At the moment, we're going to start with Dan. Dan, that was a heck of a race for that 3rd place. He made you work hard for it.
Worked hard for it. I'm absolutely sweating right now. But I tell you what, I loved every single lap. I thoroughly enjoyed that. 3rd place, fair play, Gary. You did a great job. You held your defence. I couldn't find a way through. Better man won.
Frustrations at the beginning of the race, a bit of a Matt Neil Gordon Shedden, Nicky Kelly, if you will, moment with your teammate making contact with you.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication, but it's all good. At the end of the day, like I said, Biggs is on double points tonight. So if anyone's going to spin, it better be me, not him. So we've kissed and made up. We've dealt with it. It's behind us, and yeah, good strong points for the team. Anyway, I got the setup. I got the car. I can come back.
Where are you boys training your pit crew? Are they off with Red Bull somewhere learning how to do pit stops? Because on both occasions, multiple times this season, your guys in the garage have been mega at getting in and out. Are you using a little glitch on the game, or is it just...
We're just too good, mate. We're just too good. We've spoken to Red Bull. We're just spoken to Red Bull, you know.
Well done, mate. Congrats on the first race. Dan, best luck for the second one.
Congratulations to Biggs and Gary, and we'll see you all later on.
See you later, Dan. We've got Gary in with us as well. Gary obviously missed last week. I hope you enjoyed the holiday, first of all. Good to be back. Good to be back with such a cracking race.
Yeah, good to be back. I loved every second of that. I couldn't have cared if I'd have been at last corner and finished last. That was brilliant.
Yeah, good close racing between the two. You kept it nice and clean. He didn't make it easy for you, but you was defending so beautifully.
Never defended like it in me whole since I've been doing sim racing. And the thing with Dan is, I know I can put the car where it is and have a good clean race with him. Yeah. And I hope he feels the same way as well.
Oh, I do. I definitely do, mate.
You've clearly got a bit of pace over Dan in certain parts of this track, and he's got advantages at other places. Is that race going to give you the confidence in race 2 to come up the grid and up the order, or are you worried that you're going to start behind Dan, that he may drift off into the distance?
We'll see. There's a lot of cars to get past us yet. We'll worry about that bit towards the end, but I just don't feel I've got enough. The handling's not too bad, but it hasn't got enough grunt compared to the other two. I don't know what fuel they're running, but I shouldn't mind having some.
Well, best of luck, mate, for the second race.
Good race, mate. Well done.
And we've got D Biggs in, first time race winner this season. He's won his second race here at SimPlay Motorsport. All them seconds and thirds this year is finally turned into a race win, and would you believe it, on his double points of all. Dom, what a drive.
It's about time. That's all I can say about that one. I've been so close.
You've gone and pushed at it all season. It's finally now happened for you, and what a way to do it. The pit stop that got you in front of Gary and Dan really has paid off for you there. What an effort that was.
Yeah, that was good. Like we said before we came in, I don't know what happened to Gary's pit stop, but we were pretty much bumper to bumper when he went in the pits. I went in a lap later and out 4 seconds ahead of him. So that's what did that, and I just managed that gap till the end.
You're making your 50th appearance, provided you start the second race here tonight. So that's your 50th appearance on your double points with a race win. Turning out to be quite the night, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I'm starting at the back by the looks of it, so anything's a bonus from here. Well,
best of luck, mate. We wish you the best for the second race.
Great effort.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Well done.
So 3 drivers there, Kelly, that are thrilled to bits with their efforts and thrilled to bits with their drives in
and
that
so
one.
They should be. Yeah, and so they should be. Cracking good race in the top 3, to be fair. We had all action, didn't we? We had strategy, we had defence, we had attack, we had team games, we had championship game. So, yeah, cracker. Bring on the next race.
Bring on the next race, in which we are qualifying for now. And because I didn't treat you to any Q1 stats, and I know you love a stat, Kelly, let me give you the Q.
I do.
Let me give you a Q2 stat for you.
Oh, please.
Andy has the best average qualifying of a 4th place in qualifying 2. And would you know, he can qualify here tonight, so maybe he might break that average. It was Liam, but because of Liam's fantastic performances last week, his average qualifying dropped to 5th place. He could maybe rectify that tonight by getting a lap in, although 7 minutes have gone and he's yet to get a time on the board. As where is he? Just coming through the final corner now.
Yeah.
Maybe this excuse me, is the time for him to get a lap in. He does, and it's only 6th, so that's a bit of an outlap for him. He should still get 2 more runs at that. What about Sutty and Phil? They've not raced a lot this year. Sutty averages 9th, Phil averages 8th in qualifying 2. Well, they're going to beat that. They're going to up that one. Welshie averages a P6. He can get exactly 6th. Can he get a little bit further up? Could we see an Acora on pole or on the front row of the grid? Is an Acora on the front row at the minute? So that's Q2 average. There's not really much point in saying about the other couple of drivers, because a lot of them half the time have not qualified for it, and it makes their average look a bit poor.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? It's you know, my one and only pole position was a race 2 pole position, where you've got, you know, only half the field to deal with. So it's a funny one, the race quali 2, isn't it, with the way that the format that we run. So yeah.
Andy's gone back into the pits here. He's pretty much done if he doesn't get out within the next couple of... In fact, you've got to say he's got to be coming... If he's not at the pit exit now, that's his qualifying over. And he's not coming out the pits, so I would say that Andy then is done for qualifying in this one. So provisional pole at the minute. Will he stay there? That is the big question. The big talking news, though, is Dan and D Biggs, the teammates. tied on points going into this race. That's going to make things a little more interesting now, because not only is Dan trying to play the team game, well, they're both trying to play the team game, but with D-Biggs on double points tonight, Dan trying to hope D-Biggs for the team. He's now got to sort of watch his teammate, because his teammate's now there to take the points away from him.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Race drivers are selfish characters, although they work within a team. So it's always a strange dynamic. And as you say, Dan being very gracious there in the interview, saying that it's team points. Oh, Liam, you had to hold on to it though. This is going to be a quicker lap for him.
He did very well to hold on to that. Any improvement for Liam?
Very well.
Wow!
Second.
Oh, what could he have?
Look at that.
How much time did he lose with that squirrel on the car? Then maybe Liam could be on for a pole position here. I tell you what, he'll be absolutely buzzing with that. Jamie will be watching with great intent. Liam, he's impressing me as much as he's getting quicker. As much as he says off air, I'm not enjoying the Audi. The Audi's not the car for me. I hate it. I can't wait to get out of the Audi. These last 2 weeks, Liam has put in some impressive performance. In fact, now let's go back to Catalonia, where he qualified strong and raced strong in that first part of race 3. He was racing with Emo Guy and Andy, if you remember, of race 2. Liam's got something, and he's finding his way now, isn't he, in the Pro?
He's turning into quite a good little peddler, really, isn't he? Although I think he's shocking in the wet.
Take that, Liam.
Take that, Liam. That just references to something that Liam said last night about myself not being that good in the wet. 2 second places in a first in the wet. But I think Liam just getting a little bit confused about who he was talking with. But no, he's if he don't like that Audi, imagine what he could do with a car he does like.
Indeed. Andy then done for qualifying, and if Liam gains just a bit more than half a second here, it could be provisional pole, although he is chucking that Audi about everywhere.
All over the shop,
he is making sure that if he's going to be up on his time, he is throwing it in. Peaceful, done. P3 for him, best he can do. So Liam, guaranteed at the minute. Phil's gone quicker but not quick enough. I don't think Sutty and Walsh is going to stop Liam. I don't think Sutty Walsh is going to get pole position. Can Liam find that half attempt to put himself on the... There'll be a smile, and a lad who'll be as buzzing as ever if he can find pole position here. Bit wide at Stowe.
Yeah, hang on, let's see what he's got. I don't know, it's not looking like a quicker lap to me. The back end's been all over the place. Oh, and he's deep into that corner. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, he's done. He's called it a day.
Second, though, that's not bad, is it?
Top effort for Liam there. So Andy, provisional pole... second place for that Bozzy boy. Welshie still out there on a lap at the moment. He needs to find 4 seconds just to go ahead of Sutty on his double points tonight. So we'll wait to see what he can do. But it's currently Andy provisionally pole from Liam. Peaceful Phil Sutty, and then Welshie currently P6. Can he improve on his time? Still kind of... The thing with Welshie was he got promoted, he got the wheel then. Oh, he's off now, he's off. So that will be qualifying. So Peaceful will be... The thing with Welshie is he's still kind of learning the wheel while getting promoted into the pro group. Do you know what I mean? So he's still kind of...
I can't say that I'd be doing any better at all. You know, it's pro is such a quicker group. It really is.
Yeah. So there we have it then. Andy on pole from Liam from Peaceful. Phil then Sutty, Welshie, Little each ahead of Dan. That's going to need to be a battle that Craig helps his brother out for, who starts 9th. Joe 10th, Monkey Boy 11th, and our race winner and 50th appearance maker will start P12. Who you tipping for this second race then, Kelly?
Dan. Dan will be buzzing.
Do you know what? I'm going to chuck one out there. I'm going to go Liam. I'm going to throw Liam out there. Yeah.
Hang on. I'm just getting on my phone. Where's Ladbrokes' number? Ladbrokes, yeah. That Bozzy boy for the win. Yeah. What have you got? What have you got?
1,000,000 to
3,000 to 1. I'll have a quid.
Drinks on you at Silverstone then, yeah? Oh, there you. What can Liam do? What can Andy do off the line? He jumped the start, remember, in the first race. Will Welshie start this second one? What about the Acoras, who start right there as well? One on the second row, one on the third row. What can they do? What can Peaceful do? Can he be a bit of a dark horse from P3?
Wow. Yes. Again, well, you got to watch the championship Porsches, as I like to call them. So unorthodox D-Biggs, Gary and Little Leach, they're going to be the ones to watch. If Andy strings it all together, he's got the pace. He could quite easily win this.
Yeah. He could.
Quite easily.
He could quite easily win this. This is on board Little Leach's Porsche. That's his view of the back of two Acoras. And we have to wait for that, for everybody to ready up. When the drivers are ready, we'll be green. When we're green, we'll get to see who can do what.
Yes, we will, and I doubt Andy's going to be a little bit more cautious on that start, I reckon, because that's where things started to go wrong for him in race 1, and Andy could do with a good result.
Yeah,
he's a better driver than he's been showing in this Ginetta.
He is a better driver, and we've seen it at Spa, and it surprised us both, didn't it, with how good he actually was. Yes, we're all ready now. Then a few lights are on. D-Biggs will make his 50th appearance tonight. The revs start to rise. The lights you can see are there. There's 3 red. We're green here for round 14. Who gets the better of the starts? Andy does not get away well. And look at Liam. He's already into the lead going into turn 1. Peaceful as well. Gets a great start in the Mercedes, but can't get ahead of Andy. Stays P3. Runs a little wide. Gary's got a heck of a start. He's P4.
Oh, absolutely. And he's flying. Little Leach is following up. D-Biggs has made 4 positions off the line, but the big news at the moment, Liam out in front. Keep it all together, Liam. Keep it all together. You've only got another 15 laps to go. So Gary up into 3rd. That's what you call a start. That'll be winding down up a treat. That will.
And the most important thing as well, Kelly, is Little Leach kept in front of Unorthodox there to keep him behind and keep that pressure on Dan. Dan's jaw must have hit the floor when he's seen Gary accelerate off. Now, what we don't... Oh, Andy's binned it. Andy's dropped it somewhere, so not good for Andy. What we don't know is if Gary has jumped the start. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell us about that, but he said he nearly jumped it off air before we came back, so let's see if he has or not. But he's got, with Andy dropping it, that's putting Acora on the podium for the time being. Gary's now into 2nd and he's chasing down Liam, who has a 2nd gap to Gary. Here goes Dan on Little Leach then, coming through Cop's corner, down towards Maggots and Beckett's, and Dan has got that one done, an absolute peach. And like Valtteri Bottas, Little Leach cannot help his teammate out there.
Yes, indeed. So we're on board with D-Biggs. He's made a cracking good start, made up half the field. It's what I said, qualifying isn't everything, you know.
Dan's got the run on Phil. Phil's dropped it in the Acora. Dan's got up to 3rd, and now he hunts down Gary again. What can Craig do? Gary, though, is staring at the back of an Audi that he's going to lead the entire first lap here, provided he can get to the end. Liam has done a stellar good job so far in this race. Not the race 1 he'd have wanted. Can he make it up in race 2? Andy's dropped to 11th, so he's had more dramas as well. Phil has dropped to 10th, so he's big off. Sutty's just lost a place to Monkey Boy, so he's having a bit of a problem in his Acora as well. Gary now has Dan on the back of him.
So all 4 championship Porsches, as they come round the line, are 5th, 4th, 3rd and 2nd in this race. So that's what I said about watching out for the championship Porsches, because these guys seem to be in a class of their own.
And what's that? The bell's rang. It's round 2 apparently, because it's Dan on Gary. Here we go once again. Lap 2 of 15. This battle continues, and like in race 1, it's going to get boring. Because this is what happened. Andy saying that Gary took him out into Brooklyn. So interesting to see what did happen there then if Andy gets that one put in. And Andy's retired from the race. So Andy's retired at the end of that one.
Oh dear.
So no points for Andy tonight. Yeah, no points for Andy tonight. What a shame indeed. And as Dan then looking on Gary, saying that
Gary's gone deep. But
no, Dan's done him round the outside. He's driven right round the outside. Oh, Gary! Oh, that's a bit naughty. Bit of a bump up the rear.
Gary going to back out of that one?
No, he's gone for the place. He's kept it as well. That was a little bit
Robin's racing.
Yeah, Rubin's racing. Then it's just blatantly hitting him up the chuff.
Well, yeah. Let's see what comes of that. But,
yes, exactly. Maybe that might go to the stewards. While these two are doing this, though, look who's extended his lead.
Little Leach has dropped back a little bit. Peaceful's got in front of Little Leach.
Yeah, Peaceful's on a bit of pace here, Kelly. He looks like he's keeping with D-Biggs a little bit as well, so maybe found a bit of pace in that Mercedes.
Yeah, and Rabbit Joe keeping him honest as well. He's still in this mix. 5 seconds off the lead, but still there in touching distance of the quick ones, as we see Dan having another crack at Gary. Moves one side, moves the other. Forward, backwards, trying to find that way through. Going to want to get it done this time, but still out in front with 1.6 in his pocket is Liam. Now, Liam, you've got to... Oh, here they go again, look. While these two are scrapping, this is taking the pressure off Liam. Gary goes in deep, cuts across the front of Dan. Dan wasn't close enough to capitalise on that.
D-Big's taking the KLF 900 line.
It's a justified line, apparently. It's okay.
Oh, there's another one.
So we've understood that it's okay. Look, Dan having another crack. He's going to want to get it done this time.
Now, just to say as well, Joe is sticking to the back a little each in the background as well. So Joe having a good night tonight. He's also on his double points. So a good night for Joe here then. As well as Liam qualifying well and so far racing well in this one. Doing what Uncle Dean couldn't do last night and being able to stay out in front now. Dan up the inside of Brooklands. Can he get across to cover off Luffield? No, because Gary is still there. Dan's going to have to go the long way around. In fact, no, he's done it.
He's going to do it.
Great move from Dan now.
This time.
So, job done then. Has he now going to sail off into the distance? Can Gary keep with him? Now Dan's not got that bit of slipstream. Can Gary keep with him? This is the question now, Kelly.
Well, this is it. It's the hunter is now becoming the hunted. So let's see if Gary can do the same and not let Dan get away. Dan's had pace all week. We know that he's quick. We know he's the man that can put this into 2 minutes. But Dan's going to be looking in his mirrors more than he's going to be looking forward. He's going to want to chase Liam down, but he's got Gary right behind him. And this battle that these two are having is more important than a race win for these guys. So,
and the thing is as well, Kelly, is as much as Dan would have seen Liam to pass him as a lapped car, Liam's now fighting for his position, so he's well within his rights to block Dan and defend him for his life.
Absolutely, in any way that is fair and reasonable.
Oh, obviously within the rules and regulations, you're not going to want to just drive straight and block Dan. But Liam will be fighting as if this is, life dependent because he's in the lead at the minute.
Absolutely, and wouldn't we love to have actually had that bet?
Wouldn't it be nice to get Liam in here and say, "Oh, Joe, just a little bit wide"? Not say that to him, but say, "How was that one, Liam? Yeah. Your first ever podium." Now, Dan has made a mistake, I reckon, because Gary's back ahead.
He has.
He's not. They're still side by side, sorry. But Gary did momentarily on my timing screen get back ahead of Dan. So did Dan make a mistake then? Oh, Gary! Yeah. Oh, very twitchy on the rear. Oh, look at this! Look at this! He's got a nose. He's got a nose. Can he get his power down? I don't think he has there. I tell you what, he has done.
Slightly?
No, he's still. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he did. I think he gave Dan a little nudge there.
Hey, one thing I want to say: Peaceful's keeping with D Biggs. He's got some good pace in this second race. Gary now looking up the inside of Brooklands as Dan did to Gary last time round. Can't get that move done. He'll need to keep it tight into Luffield before Gary gets that nose underneath, and he can't get it done here. But the gap's now 2.1 to Liam.
Now.
The gap's 2.1 to Liam. Liam will be loving this. Gary, keep on the back of Dan. He will be saying because he's out in front, loving life.
He certainly is.
He's nearly led a third of this race.
And look, Peaceful still chasing D Biggs down. I'm not going to stick with him. I'm going to come off that.
Oh, the Kelly line! The Kelly line!
Very good. The Kelly line. That's the into the next county line. That was. D Biggs was right up there, which has put Peaceful in front of him as they come through Maggis and Beckett. And Peaceful should pull away a little bit here from D.
Has Gary made a mistake this lap? Because Dan now, near enough, look at the gap between Gary and Dan. I wonder if Gary's had a bit of a twitch somewhere. Dan's put daylight between the cars. And you're right, what changes has Peaceful made here to get that Mercedes-Benz to keep up? Because it didn't look like it had mega pace in race one, and yet here he is, P4.
No. Absolutely, and we know what happens when we chat about Peaceful, so I don't want to talk about it. There we go.
He's made a mistake. Look.
Sorry, dude.
Should we go back to
yeah, let's go back to calling him Gary closed up that gap again then. Just goes a little bit deep through Club and and lives to fight another day. So D Biggs has got back in front of Peaceful. Peaceful made a mistake. So D Biggs back in front. Now got Little Leach breathing down his neck. Rabbit Joe still just keeping it all honest and staying there. And I hate to keep jumping back to it, but it is the best battle on track. Unorthodox and Gary 131 having an absolute stormer of an evening. And this is the kind of stuff we want, isn't it?
This is the kind of stuff we want.
Wheel to wheel.
Pit window opens at the end of this lap, so guys are free to pit now. And let's take nothing away from the man who's led 5 of these laps. Liam doing a cracking job, and now was. Oh no!
Oh no! Liam, no!
That I was going to say, Dan looked slow through Brooklands, and that's why Liam's had a spin, and Dan obviously was not wanting to get involved with it. Oh, Liam!
Oh, gutted. Absolutely gutted. 5 laps.
Oh.
Maybe he can learn from it. Let's hope he can chuck that one down to experience.
He's got to now not get too flustered and overdrive the car, but that's promoted Dan into first and Gary into second, with D-Biggs now P3. Liam still fourth, and he's still on the back of D-Biggs. Will want to get past him, but he's just got to stay focused. 6 tenths between the two leaders. Look at the line that Peaceful takes Liam, getting Maggots and Beckett's wrong, and has lost out on D-Biggs, and Peaceful right on the back of him, with Craig following Liam as well, following Peaceful as well. Now what's the Audi got? Can it catch back up to the Porsche in front after that mistake? Peaceful, now look at the grunt of the Mercedes. He's side by side with Liam on board Little Each. We see Peaceful drive past Liam as easy as you like, and is Liam coming back at Peaceful then up the inside? He has, you know, Liam, the old later on the brakes up the inside manoeuvre, and Peaceful's round. Oh, he's made a little mistake there.
Gary's in the pits.
Gary has pitted. What's that? The end of lap 5. So Gary, early stop for him again. He's pitted early. Dan not coming in as early this time around. And so it's Dan from D-Biggs, from that Bozzy boy. Little Each now up into 4th, as Peaceful has dropped all the way down to 7th place behind his teammate. Where's Rabbit Joe? Rabbit Joe was in between the Mercedes and Little Each. What's happened to him? He's had a moment somewhere, I reckon. Because he's in front of the two Acoras, look. What a shame for Joe. What a shame.
Yeah, again, maybe one that can chalk it out into experience and learn something from it. He was running up towards the sharp end, which is good to see. A couple of these rookie guys just beginning to find their feet a half season now, aren't they, and show a bit of pace. Rabbit Joe, Liam, starting to get the hang of this pro bit. They may not have strung enough together to put things on the podium, but certainly moving forward they are.
They are indeed. The battle out front, 4 seconds as Gary is pitted. He's down in P10, so he's got to come through traffic like Dan did in race 1. Little Each then.
Now
he's chasing. Now Liam seems like he's gapped Craig a little bit.
Yeah, it does look like he's pulled a little bit from him. Liam.
He's pushing a bit too hard now.
Yeah, trying a little bit too hard.
Yeah.
Interesting when what Daniel's thinking. Oh yeah, definitely trying too hard now.
Yeah, let's get off of Liam for a little bit. Let's get back to. Has he retired? He's retired.
Has he?
Liam's retired from the race.
Dear. Maybe had enough of that.
Yeah, he should have stuck at it though. He should have stuck at that one, because points mean prizes, and he's not going to want to lose points. So he's retired from the race. What a shame for Liam. So we're back down to 10 runners again here. What a shame.
We were just watching the Merc power down the straight as the two Mercs went side by side. Peaceful coming in.
Peaceful is coming. D-Biggs is in.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Gary. Where's Gary? 9th at the moment. Just coming into the new complex as one of the Hondas. Acoras is round. D-Biggs looks like he's moving. I think Gary's going to clear him.
Yeah, I think Gary is going to clear him.
Yeah,
Rabbit Joe way behind there, just going off. Oh, I don't know actually. No,
it's going to be close, you know.
I think Biggs may have just done him. Yeah, Biggs has done him.
Just done enough.
So just great stop from Biggs.
Yeah, I hope Biggs is on the radio saying, "I've just done Gary, Dan."
Yeah, keep pushing Dan, because I've now got him behind me.
Yeah, surely Dan's going to pit any time now, isn't he?
You'd have thought so, wouldn't you?
Said. Yeah, I would have said so. Yes, indeed. So Gary having a look at D-Biggs straight away.
Yeah, straight into
Brooklands. Gary knows he's got to get on with this because he doesn't need D-Biggs in between him and Dan.
No, he doesn't. He needs to get past D-Biggs as quick as he can. A bit of a slide there from Gary on the exit. Biggs giving him plenty of room, and Gary's still trying to hang it round the outside here. And this is side-by-side action. It's not a repeat of race 1. It's now with D-Biggs. It's the teammate of the Shake and Bake Motorsport driver who's in the lead at the minute. Gary's going to try and still go around the outside of Cops Corner. He's pushing it, Gary. He knows that he can't lose time to unorthodox.
No, quite right. He's hanging it out there, and they give each other space. As you say, D Biggs, one of the most consistent drivers in the league, doesn't make mistakes very often, apart from crashing into his teammate. But it happens. So consistent drivers and giving Gary plenty of space, very clean and fair.
It is very clean and fair. Gary, though, pulls out. Is he going to have a look into Stowe? No, decides not to. Little Leach has brought himself into the pits at the end of lap 7, as Dan is still going on lap 8. Now, how long does Dan go? It looks coming over a bit dark, isn't it? It's cloudy. No rain forecast, so clouds coming over a little bit here.
There is no rain forecast, did you say?
No, there is no rain forecast.
No. Right. Well, you know.
Yeah, I know. No rain forecast. I know.
Just a moment here. Akora in second place.
Yeah, too quick. Phil has not pitted yet, though, so that's why it's in second place.
Well, I knew. Yeah, we kind of got that. But just thought we'd have the moment.
Yeah, we'd have. It's nice here to be on screen. Phil can look back and reminisce at him being P2 for a couple of laps. We knew it wasn't going to be the night. Next week could be an Akora night. Sugo.
Yeah, Sugo. It's gonna benefit the well handling cars over the power cars. Thoroughly looking forward to that. I think it's going to be great fun.
It should be a good one. The weather at the minute looks like there's a bit of rain around in Japan as well, as Gary's looking for a move on D Biggs. Still can't get it done though.
I swapped back over because Gary was momentarily in front of D Biggs there, so he must have had a bit of a run on him as they got into this section. But D Biggs keeping Gary honest again.
He is keeping Gary honest again, and these two battling as hard as Dan and Gary was. Gary again looking for that move, but can't get it done here. We are down to 10 drivers again for the second race in a row here. But what we have seen, though, is some cracking battles with this man tonight. Gary 131 with Dan and D Biggs now. He's driven a brilliant race. We saw Liam lead momentarily. Jamie saying Matt will cherish this moment forever. I'll cherish it when it finishes on the podium.
Yeah, when it wins one on pace.
Yeah.
Long way.
Daniel Francis giving the cameraman's arms a rest with the slower panning for the Akora. Gary then, a little bit later on the brakes, and D Biggs has to take a bit of a wider line and can't get it tucked in as nice as D Biggs can. And he does lose a bit of pace. That's Monkey Boy in front, who's just about to dive into the pits at the end of lap 8. Yeah, clearing the traffic is really what they want. How much do you lose for a pit stop? It's about 20 to 25 seconds in testing, I think, when I did it, depending on how long the pit stop takes, so I suppose. So that's why I say 20 to 25. Dan is just in that window.
I think an average clean standard pit stop is about 5 seconds when you're not repairing anything. If you time it correctly and you find the glitch, it can be Formula 1 fast.
Now, Gary, round the outside at Village there. Sorry, Kelly, to cut you off. And he's got that inside line on D Biggs. And has he got that one done? Yes, he has. Job done over D Biggs. Great move from Gary. He did it to Dan in the last race. He's done it to D Biggs here. But this one was to overtake, not to defend. So the gap being, like we say, around 20 to 25 seconds, depending on how long you're stationary for. That's in and out time. Gary's now got to get the foot down to get within that window of Dan, hasn't he?
Yeah, while they've been messing around, these guys have been in the 205s, while Dan's been in the 203s, and consistently in the 203s. I've been watching his pace, so he's in clean air, out front, just running his own race here. Rolling around in the 203s. So what have we had? A couple of 3 laps of Gary and D Biggs going at it. So as I say, they're in the 205s. So this gives Daniel a bit of breathing space. Of course, he hasn't pitted yet. Rabbit Joe getting all over the place.
Indeed he was. He's had a good night though. He's 5th again at the moment. Obviously he's not pitted yet, and people like Monkey Boy and Little Leach have, and Peaceful has. But he's had a good night tonight. Is Joe on double points as well?
Excuse me. Excuse me. I yawned then. I do apologise. Getting way past my bedtime. So D Biggs is keeping Gary honest, but not hassling the back of him. So I think that fight may be over. I think Gary's got that one that one covered, although momentarily there on the timing screens, D Biggs was back in front of Gary, but you can see that quite clearly on the screen where they both are in relation. The KLF line, as it's getting
as it's now known as.
Yep.
So
actually, I think the KLF line is before Maggots and Beckett's. That was the first corner.
Yeah,
I didn't go quite so wide on there.
Sutty, Phil, Rabbit Joe, Welshie, and Unorthodox still yet to pit then in this one. D-Big's not able to do out about Gary. Gary starting to catch the back of Phil. As Dan's got a 22-second gap, can just pump his lap times in here to make sure that even with a really quick pit stop, he can get out before Gary.
Yeah, well, he's got 25 over Gary, hasn't he? He's 22 back to Phil, who hasn't stopped. 26 back to Gary. That's the key one here. Gary a second quicker on that last lap. Now in the mid 24s. Dan's still in 24s, 204s. Dan's still in the 203s. D Biggs just a little bit slower in the 205s. So he's dropping off the back a little bit.
Yeah. Where is Little Leach? He's about 10 or 12 seconds behind Gary and D-Big. So again, he's there after the pit stops of Joe and Phil, you'd imagine, but he's not close enough to help Gary out. Welshie has just came into the pits at the end of lap 9. We're on lap 10. Welshie in the pit. Sutty, Phil, Unorthodox, Joe not yet pitted. We're down to 10 runners. We did have 13 at the start of the night. We're down to 10 for the second race in a row here.
Yes, interesting one in the chat. Iron Brew Racing. Has a lawnmower finished on the podium in GT3s before? I love the way that even the people in the chat now are calling it the lawnmower. It's certainly sticking, isn't it? Has it?
Yes, Don Productions got a podium last year in the Pro-Am around Indianapolis.
There you go. So he came second out of 3.
Yeah.
Or third out of 2.
Oh dear me. Gary just pulling a couple of attempts back on Dan this lap. The gap was 26. He's gained half a second on Dan over the last timing screen wouldn't say that. Maybe Dan's made a little mistake this time around, but they're just starting to catch the back of the Acura of Phil. Here are these two. They're a couple of seconds behind him as Sutty makes his way into the pits at the end of lap 10, and that's his pit stop. And you'd imagine Monkey, but what's happened to Peaceful in this one? I know he's had a moment when Liam passed him, and he's just sort of gone a bit off the boil, hasn't he?
Yeah, we're still waiting for the day that Peaceful takes his pure lap time and pairs it up with some consistency and has a couple of good rounds, and I'm sure the day will come. Yeah,
we all sort of pray for the day that Peaceful, because he's got some pace, and on certain tracks he's up there, isn't he? He just hasn't been able to put it together, has he, to get the most look out of it. Gary there taking the Kelly line and is very wide.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the KLF line.
Very wide there, but keeps it going. He's lost that time to Dan again this lap. And there you see Phil just coming through Maggots and Beckett's. Phil still running in second, so strong performance from Phil here. And I tell you what, I'd argue Phil would come out ahead of Monkey Boy with a pit stop. That's about 40 seconds he's got to lose to Monkey Boy. So Phil could be 6th here, should I say, after his pit stop.
And we're not really seeing the best of Phil, are we? I haven't seen him in a previous car, to be fair, but I'm on the understanding that Phil is a quick driver, is what I understand.
Very good driver, just always been in the wrong place at the wrong time, sort of thing, where there's been incidents that have happened.
He's sat in it right now.
That may be so. But yeah, in previous seasons, in the Lamborghini he used to drive, just wrong place, wrong time. He's won races before, he's been on the front row of the grid, he's, very quick guy, can be up there. But just struggling this season, obviously, because of the pro car choice that him and Sutty have made, and has struggled before in previous seasons where he's just been wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, but I certainly understand that he's capable.
Yeah. Very capable.
And as is this man, the other Acura. We know Sutty's capable as well. I've seen more of Sutty before and been in a couple of races with him. Did the 2.4 hours of Le Mans with Sutty. We were in the same class, and he, although I was second to his first place, he was about 10 minutes up the road from me. quite literally lapped me and was on again. So again, we're not seeing the best. If you've only joined us for this season, Sooty's quicker than he's showing for sure.
He really is. He's obviously getting to grips with learning the wheel most seasons and most races now. Barely touches the pad. He's on the wheel quite regular. But yes, Sooty is a guy that is 9 times out of 10 running at the front of the grid. He's got 7 race wins to his name. You know, that's no mean feat for any standard of driver. But he's really struggling this year.
Yes, indeed, and all the jokes we make about the Acura, it's just not quick enough, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's I'm sure it's an absolute fantastic car in the flesh, but in this format, it just isn't very quick.
No, that's it.
Just like the Ferraris.
Yeah,
the Ferraris. You don't see many people use the Ferrari. It's quite a solid car to drive, but it just ain't quick enough.
No, that's it. And I argue on the Pro-Am grid that it could be a decent car, but in the Pro grid, it's just not. It's just not got the pace, has it?
No, not at all. And the Pro-Ams tend to. I'm surprised we haven't got more Ferraris, because I believe that people who are new to this game tend to pick the Ferrari. I mean, I used to, when I first got this game, I used to drive the Ferrari all the time, absolutely all the time. It's a nice car to start you off in the game, and I'm surprised in the Pro-Am, although there is talk of another class in SimPlay. I don't know if that's I don't know the ins and outs of it. You do more than I do, Matt, and I don't know if that's something that's going to start next season or what.
Potentially, basically depending on the drivers that come in and how many we get come in for the GT3s, there could be an amateur class.
Yeah. And it would be a good base car for there. You know what I mean? For people starting out, for sure.
I think if people was to pick, I think you're right. If people pick the Ferrari, the McLaren, the Acura Ginetta, even, you've got 4 base good cars that are stable and can get you around and do you a job.
Absolutely, and as we've said so many times, consistency is the key. We'll see. We'll see what people pick when, as and when, and if it happens.
Joe's come out P6. So if Joe's jumped Monkey Boy, Phil surely should jump Joe, because Phil was ahead of Joe on the track when Joe's just pitted. This race has just gone a little bit off the boil, hasn't it? We've not got the battle of Gary and Dan in this one. It's just all a bit tame. So while we've got that, Ironbury Racing, Matt admitted his pride and joy is awful. Yes, the Acura on the GT3s is terrible. I do much prefer driving the Mercedes-Benz.
Well, they're not real cars.
No, they're not real cars. Exactly.
They're not real cars. And I'm sure the Civic would be probably more your thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If you had to have a Honda.
Yeah, the Type R would be straight up my street. The Ferrari's apparently the quickest on default, says Ironbury Racing. I find that very hard to believe. Dan and Phil yet to pit then, running first and second, and Gary hasn't got as close to Phil as I thought he would, as quick. Dan's got a 27-second window to Gary.
Lap.
Yeah, he has to.
Daniel's got to pit this lap.
Yeah, they both have to pit this lap. Gary's not got past Phil, so is Dan then going to take the race win? Maybe the fastest lap as well?
Well, Dan's been consistently in the 203s, a 203.1 on that last one, which is quick race pace, and nobody else kind of matching that kind of pace, apart from Sooty. Look, Sooty put a 203.8 in on his last lap, so where's he been all night? Yeah, where's he been all night, for sure? Phil matching the pace of Gary, although in the wrong place on the track. He is going to end up somewhere around, probably in between Little Leach and Rabbit Joe, to be fair, somewhere around 5th or 6th place when he ends up doing his pit, which he has to do this lap. Dan's got 28 seconds over Gary. I think that's probably enough, being that the pit stop doesn't get messed up, and he puts it all together. Let's go on board with Dan, and we can see the pit entry as we're just coming to the end of the of our time at Silverstone GP, but it'll give you an idea of the pit entry on this. It's very, very quick pit entry as Daniel comes down into Stowe, and the Vale. That grandstand on the left there, that's where I'll be sat in a couple of weeks' time. So here you go, it's very fast down here. I was hitting the brakes now. Dan goes a bit later, get it slowed down 37 miles an hour easily. He's on his pit limiter now, coming round, and as you see, No marker on his pit box. I've always got one.
I don't think it shows for us.
I don't think it shows on the thing. So
that wasn't as quick, was it?
Stop.
Yeah, it wasn't as quick as his first one. But he's away now. Gary coming down the Vale Straight in towards Club. Dan's done him by a country mile. Phil has came into the pit lane then. D Biggs has dropped well off the back of Gary. Dan is now off the limiter and away, and Gary's only just coming down the start straight. So this one looks like it's going to be Dan's. On his 50th appearance, D Biggs will have a win and another podium to his name, so good drive from him, although there is still this last lap to go. Anything can happen. Dan, 47 appearances after tonight. He'll make his 48th tomorrow.
Has he really?
Yeah, he'll make his 48th tomorrow. He'll make his 49th on Monday in the GT5s, and then he'll make his 50th in round 1 at Sugo next Thursday night, in which he'll be with us. He'll be with us on commentary next Wednesday for his birthday. I was just about to say that. Yeah, on his big. He's on his birthday next Wednesday. He's 26 years old. Yes, I know. I'm far too young to have a son of 26 years old. You know, as I'm only 28 myself. So Dan will be commentating, and I said I'd pull him out and race win for his birthday. So let's not forget the big birthday next Thursday, Kelly. Beth,
which is
Beth.
Is it? Oh, right, okay.
We can't forget 21? That one. She's 21, 26, 27. But she won't let me forget it if I don't mention that it's her birthday next Thursday, which we can. Hey, we can sing again.
We can sing.
We can sing when it gets a bit dull like this. We can sing a happy birthday. Join us live next week for karaoke night.
Not yet, Dan. Not Dan's flashing his lights. Not yet.
Not yet, Dan.
Towards the line, not yet.
6 seconds in the lead though, but he's had he got past Gary and he's not looked back since, has he? Liam had his moment. No. When Dan got ahead of Liam and Gary, Dan has not looked back since, but it's going to be unorthodox who's going to take a third race win of the season, and he can start now if he really wants to, but the championship battle closes once again. It was 10 points, it's going to close to 5. Dan then wins the race there. It's going to be Gary to come home to take another great second place. And if you need consistency in a championship, this is what these two are doing. D Biggs on 50th appearance night is going to come home for a third place. Strong great points. Result for D Biggs again.
I think you'll be happy with that.
Yeah, very strong display. Little Leach just didn't have the pace of the front four to keep up, but a great constructors fight we have nonetheless. He's going to come home for P4, closely followed by the Acora in P5. Great result for Phil in 5th place. What a drive from him. Rabbit Joe, good set of points for him tonight. He's going to take a set of P6s, so 20 points for him, double that for 40, so he gets good haul of points around here, does Rabbit Joe. Monkey Boy,
almost the best of the rest.
Yeah, I'd agree with that one. To be fair, I'd agree with that one. Monkey Boy looks like he's going to take home a P8, or he might not do because teammates behind him. And Monkey Boy on double points tonight. That'll probably be the way it stays. Peaceful, he's just gone off the boil this second race, hasn't he?
No, Monkey.
I'm surprised Peaceful's not let him keep that.
Yeah, so am I.
So Peaceful is going to take P7 and Monkey Boy will take P8. I'm surprised Peaceful didn't let Monkey Boy keep that position because he's on double points. Either way, that'll be that one. Sutty's going to come home in P9 and Welshie on double points as well. We'll get a 10th place. He's only getting to double 6, which isn't his drop score, is it? Oh, Welshie's double points is his drop score. Oh, it will be after tonight when I sort that one out. Who took the fastest lap of the race? Dan, 2:02 dead. Look at that. What a drive.
Dead. Quick one.
What a drive from Dan. So Dan, win and the fastest lap. If the top 3 are listening to the stream, get yourselves back in for a quick chat while I just quickly go through the sort the tables out. Kelly, do you want to take us through your final words?
Silverstone GP. good round, cracking good racing tonight. The top four, as I say, kind of breaking away now. We've got, kind of the top four battle, and then the best of the rest. The best of the rest being Phil this evening in the Acura, so that's a good result. Some great racing this evening. Onwards and upwards. I think there's a lot of people looking forward to next week, Sportland Sergio. So it's game on still, both in Pro-Am and Pro. Keep watching.
Keep watching, indeed. It is game on. And in terms of the championship, it's been a tied now at the top. Gary and Dan are both tied on 241. Don't know how that's worked, but according to the maths, that is correct. It was a 10-point gap before race one. Dan's only gained 6 points. So I don't know. 6. I don't know what's gone wrong there.
No, 18, 25 for a win, 18 for second, isn't it?
15,
so that's
15 for second. 8. No, 20 for second.
20, so 5. So 5
6
plus the fastest lap. Yeah, I can't see how that works.
Can't see how that one works. I will take a look at that. But according to my tables at the minute, it's Gary. No, sorry, it's not Dan. It has kept right. Dan is 4 points behind. D Biggs tied with Gary at the top of the standings after double points. So D Biggs and Gary are tied. It'd help if I read them things called names in the standings column.
Yeah. Danny's me going to blame your cheap version of Excel, but it wasn't. It was
me. Danny's 4 points behind, and that is correct. Danny's 4 points behind. Craig stays fourth, well ahead of Big Boy Brazy. Now Monkey Boy moves himself up into sixth above Emo Guy. Peaceful just behind him. Joe goes above Liam, with Liam not scoring a single point in the second race. Joe goes above him by 2 points. Phil now breaks himself into 11th place above Andy, with Andy not scoring a bean tonight at all. Welshie back above Sutty after Welshie scores. This is obviously before the drop score, so that will all be recalculated. And the Shake and Bake Motorsport lads lead the Constructors' Championship by 54 points. So Gary and Craig have got their works to do.
Just while I'm thinking about it, so top three in the championship. Now, D Biggs has taken his double points tonight, we know.
Yes.
Gary and Dan, have they taken theirs yet?
Gary Donington, Dan Hockenheim, Little Leach, Zhuhai.
Right, so we are all level pegging now.
Yes.
So we've got, this is a fight to the end now, isn't it?
So this is a 4-point battle between the top three till the end.
Get on.
And the top three, I do believe, or at least two of them, have joined us in the chat. I don't think Dom's with us, so we'll start with Gary. You just didn't... Oh, Dom is here. Oh, right, brilliant. Dom, third place. Consistent points for yourself again on your 50th appearance.
Yeah, I'll take that from the back of the grid. The championship's far too tight for my liking now.
Tied with Gary. After my little blunder, and 4 points ahead of your teammate. Is it starting to get to a point where, the team game's going out the window and it's every man for themselves, Dan, or...?
I don't know yet.
Is that going to give you sleepless nights? Is it going to give you sleepless nights being this high up towards the championship?
Let's focus on getting the teams wrapped up, I think. And then
good answer. Good answer. I like it.
Solid points again, though, for you, Dom. Another set of podiums tonight. Your first win of the season. It's all round been a great season for yourself, and a good choice of double points.
Yeah, it's all about consistency, and I think that's what it's going to be between us to the end. If somebody has a bad week, they're going to be out of it, I think.
Yeah. Now, the last time I saw you race at Sugo was in a previous league. Are you looking forward to next week?
Not really.
Oh, brilliant.
Don't know that track.
It was me just bigging everybody up for it, but...
Well, we'll let you get head ready for next week, Dom. Congratulations tonight, and thank you for joining us.
Cheers.
We've got Gary as well. Gary set a second place, as solid as ever, consistent as ever, but you just didn't have that pace to catch Dan.
Nah, I haven't done no practice either, which hasn't helped, to be fair. I was sort of go into the practice session tonight and pick a setup and hope it works, and I found one that kind of stuck to the track, so we went with it, but I think I'm going to have to do a bit more work now.
Yeah, he had the measure over you that race too. Again, it looked like from the second lap that the second round was starting and that it was gloves off and battle as it ended in the first race, but he quickly got past you this time, managed to find that way through. Did you think you had an opening when Liam span and he slowed down a little bit?
No, that kind of made Dan catch up a little bit more, really, because I was right in the line of where Liam was. And Dan obviously see it before I did, and yeah, it's kind of. But that car was just on a different level. It was so much quicker than me. It was ridiculous.
What can you do going forward to Sugo? I remember again, like D-Big's previous league, we had good battles around there in the Genettas and the Clios. Can't remember what you did in the Porsche, but what can you do next week?
Win both races and take both fastest laps.
Oh, there's a statement. Kelly, you heard that. Jot that one down. Statement.
Love Sugo. Looking forward to it.
Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Second favourite track on the calendar behind Zhuhai, but obviously that fell the wrong week for me, so roll on Sugo.
Well, we look forward to seeing you next week, and we hold you to what you said.
Yeah, thank you.
Best of luck, buddy.
Well done, boys.
Dan, race win tonight. You've closed the gap. Your teammates now with you, tied on points with Gary himself. It's now a three-way battle for that title. The battle's not done. It's just got harder.
I'll tell you what. I said I wanted this championship, and I am working my butt off for it. Although I loved every single lap of this round. I normally hate Silverstone. I hate this track. I detest it. But every single lap I did with anyone tonight has been absolutely epic. I am loving this. Every single lap is just... And how close we are is just mad. All of our abilities, everything that can help us do well in the championship is gone. It's now level playing. Who can do the better job from here out? 5
rounds left, Dan. 10 rounds left, 5 tracks to visit. We're in Japan next week, early morning start. What can you do round Sugo? Gary's made the statement of 52 points next week. He likes the track. What can you do next week?
If Gary can remember back to GT5s, I quite like Sugo as well. Sugo is one of my favourites, so he's got a lot of hard work to do if he wants to get that 52 points, because I'm going to be making sure he doesn't. But
Love it.
I can't wait for Sugo. Sugo's going to be an interesting circuit. It's going to be an interesting track. Very tight, very technical, and I'm loving the challenge. So I can't wait. Bring it on. Sugo next round. I can't
Bring
wait.
It on indeed.
Thursdays.
Just want to say, lads, Jamie Brazier in the chat. I'm gunning for maximum points next week. It's on Leach. So there you go. Jamie back next week to chuck in the mix. Obviously, Jamie's not been here tonight, Dan, to throw himself into the equation. That's kind of made the night a little easier. But with Dom taking his double points and being so successful, your championship was like, you look at the beginning of the night, it's right, where am I to Gary? Now Dom's took his double points, it's now where am I to both of them?
I'll tell you what, the champion, regarding the constructors, me and Dom have done exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to take it to the Leachy Legends and really work hard for it for them this season. And I think so far we've done that. Now they are the ones hunting us. So Jamie not being here was definitely a bonus for us. I knew Jamie would be quick here. Even Liam, I got to put my hats off to Liam. Yeah. The first couple of laps, absolutely brilliant, mate. I'm just gutted he dropped it. Absolutely gutted. He had me. He covered me.
I'll second that as well, Dan, to be fair.
But what Liam did in that Audi scared me what Jamie could have done with it. So I was glad he wasn't here, but a massive big up to Liam. He did a great job of controlling the start, and with me and Gary busily fighting each other, he pulled away. He was pulling away from us.
Yeah. Well done
also,
tonight.
A big shout out to Phil, just to add as well. Very good. Very impressed with that.
Yeah. I was waiting for him to pit. The whole thing I was waiting for him to pit.
Well done, Phil. That Acura should be winning races. What are you on about?
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
In Clio's.
No, big hats off to Phil as well. Well, Kelly, anything to add to our top 3?
No, not at all. Great racing from all these guys. 4-point gap between these three. It's Leachy's versus Shake and Bake for the rest of the season. Great, absolutely. And most of us are looking forward to next week, apart from D-Bigs, but looks like everyone else is looking forward to next week. So, as I said, bring it on. Let's see what happens in the next round. Fantastic racing.
It's got a bit of an F1 feel about it, hasn't it? Dan said himself, the hunter's now become the hunted. It's very much like F1 with Mercedes and Red Bull. It's game on in towards Sugo next week, where we'll be live early morning start. Well, we'll be live at 8 p.m. BST, but the track time will be 5, 6, 7 and 8. So an early morning start, cooler temperatures. What can them guys do? We'll be back tomorrow night with the GTEs live on the SimPlay Motorsport channel from 8 p.m. tomorrow night. There's no football on, so what else have you got to do? We're also live next Monday for the GT5s on Monday night, in which it is Silverstone Nationals. We'll be back at Silverstone. Can myself take it back to D-Biggs and Dan, or is the fight well and truly on there with Craig as well? And we'll be back for the Pro-Am and the Pro next Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be joined by Dan in the commentary box, and me and Kelly will be bringing bringing out the karaoke machine to sing a happy birthday to Beth. Join us live. Thanks for tuning in.
Any requests? Let's hear them.
Thanks for liking and subscribing if you have done. Choose for joining in and putting your comments in here. That's all we've got time for. We'll be back next week. Take care. Good night.
Thank you. Good
night.
Good night.
Fiddlesticks.
Oh, that was a good race. Good. Well,
that was
job,
great racing.
I am not sitting behind that Porsche for another fucking race. I was getting around one way or fucking another.
That was a brilliant night. I loved it.
Yeah, that was good.
Awesome. That was awesome racing.
That was good racing.
I've never worked so hard for a race win and a third place. So hard. I love that. Loved it.
Yeah, it was.
I'll remind you that next time you say you don't like Silverstone, I'll just bring you back to tonight.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I hate it.